Good morning, everyone, and welcome to day 2 of the 2024 BC High School Track and Field Championships. We're here live from Nanaimo Secondary School in beautiful Nanaimo on a fantastic sunny day. My name is Roy Boss, and I'm here with Andrew Boss, and we'll be co-hosting this broadcast throughout today and tomorrow. Getting things going right away with the 110-meter hurdle heats, senior boys. Heat 1 is on the track, and they're ready to go. We have Miles Young from Eric Hamber, Kaylin Zacharias from A.L. Fortune in Enderby, Keanu Kaniali from Edward Milne, Ethan Hull, Brooks Secondary, Will Van Shagen, Sardis, Gavin Ratton, North Delta, James Miguel, Ecole Second, and McLean Carlson from Lord Byng. Fastest seed time in this group is 16:14, coming out of lane 1, Miles Young.
And there will be 4 heats in this event. Top competitor in each heat will automatically qualify to the final, and then the next 4 overall best times will move on as well. And the finals will be later on today at 1 p.m.
That's right. And the pressure is really on the second place, third place, and fourth place finishers in every heat because, well, you know, they've got to have a good time. So they can't coast. They won't be an automatic qualifier. We see the field looking straight down, rather intimidating look at the hurdles. 36 inches.
Yep, this will provide a great view for the viewers at home.
There they go, they're getting into the blocks. So the top seeds in this race are in lane 5, Will Van Shagen from Sardis, and Miles Young from Eric Hamber in lane 1. Appears as though, say, lane 7 is empty, I think. And there they go, it's a clean start. Ethan Hull from Brooks Secondary looking strong. Out in lane 1, Miles Young is our leader. He's showing good form. And it's going to be Miles Young. And it looked like Will Van Shagen from Sardis taking second out in lane 5. So Miles Young, Eric Hamber. We'll see the results up on the screen in just a moment.
Miles Young, 16:10, a very quick time to start off the day.
That's right.
Van Shagen at 16:72, coming through at second place.
That's right. And that time should get him into the, hopefully will advance him to the final. Running the hurdles at any time of the day is a tough event, but running first thing in the morning is, if you're not a morning person, it could be tough. Okay, there we see the results up on the screen. So 1672, 1676, those 2 times are ones we'll have to keep an eye on to see whether they're able to advance through to the finals. The hurdles are now 36 inches. About 8 years ago, the hurdles were 39 inches throughout the history of the meet for seniors, and the number of hurdlers was dropping off quite sharply. So decision was made to lower the height of the senior hurdles to encourage more participation, and it's had its desired results because over the last few years we've seen some excellent hurdling coming out of this meet.
Yeah, the 39 inches were quite high. I think probably a little too high when we're looking at the senior international level. It's all up even higher at 42 inches. So I think the 36 inches is a good kind of transition height for these athletes. And then, you know, as they get up to, if they go on to college and onwards, you know, there is a bit of a development stage there.
And it gives them a chance to see if they really like hurdling. We're getting ready for the second heat right now.
Yeah, the meet record in this event is 13:63. It's been held since 2017, so a very quick time.
Yes,
to be keeping an eye on.
That record was set on this track, in fact. Anastasia Leopoulos from Vancouver College. And the record was almost broken last year. Michael Shirk ran 13:7.
Wow.
So very, very close. Last year was a banner year for hurdlers. There were quite a number of athletes that were down in the low 14s or high 13s. So it was quite exciting to watch. Now here's our starting lineup for the second heat. Liam Matthew in lane 1 from White Rock Christian. Lane 2, Maxim Roberts, Belmont. Lane 3, Dennis Pectu from Heritage Woods. Lane 4, Mariah Suzuki from Francis Kelsey here in Nanaimo. Finn Archer in lane 5, Oak Bay. Carson Van On from Credo Christian. William Flatt, St. Andrews Regional. And in lane 8, Gian Villard Calamoso from Holy Cross. Fastest seed time out of this group is right in the middle in lane 5 with Finn Archer from Oak Bay having turned in a 16:31. Oh, I'm sorry. And Dennis Pectu from Heritage Woods also 15:47. So those would appear to be the early race favorites. Dennis Pectu from Heritage Woods running strongly. Finn Archer from Oak Bay. There's the battle right there. Finn Archer from Oak Bay. Dennis Pectu. And in lane 2, it is going to be Maxim Roberts from Belmont. Finn Archer running a very strong race there. We'll see what the times are.
Archer at 15:75. Just dipped under 16.
That's right. So that's an improvement on his seed time coming in. So he looks very happy with that.
And Pectu coming in at second at 16:02. So pretty close as well.
That's right. So 16:02 is a good time, puts him in good position for that final. Once again, first place automatically qualifies for the final, and then that's the next 4 fastest times out of all 4 heats. So there we see the times. Finn Archer, 15:75. Dennis Pectu. Heritage Woods and Port Moody, 16:02. And those will be the, Dennis Pectu's time will be one we'll have to keep an eye on for the finals. So as far as sprint hurdles go, we've seen several junior national champions come out of this meet, and one Olympic hurdler, Tim Croker from Merritt, BC, was the champion and held the record for quite a number of years, but he went on to represent Canada at the Olympics back in the 80s, I believe, or 80s or 90s. I can't remember exactly. I'll have to look that one up.
All right, up next in Heat 3, we have Jose Montessori from Vancouver College Prep. In lane 2, we have Reed Brasher from Golden Secondary. In lane 3, Adam Wasti, Okanagan Mission. In lane 4, Joseph Thufanuf, Yale Secondary. In lane 5, Luke Premu from Vancouver College Prep. In lane 6, Jeff Curtis, Vernon Secondary School. In lane 7, Jack Shabot from Yale Secondary. And rounding out the field, we have Emmanuel Yaal from Abbotsford Christian. It's Joseph Montessori from Vancouver College Prep coming in with the fastest seat time in this race of 15:13. So keep an eye out for him in lane 1.
Yeah, it looks like based on the early rankings, we could have a number of athletes getting into that 14-second barrier. That's kind of the magic for high school.
Yeah, which is a very impressive
it is.
time to kind of get within range.
Yeah.
Yeah, anytime you're within that 14 or 15-second mark, especially at these heights, it's a great position to be in for these athletes. And the athletes getting ready here in the blocks.
There they go. They are off. Again, keep your eyes on lane 1. And lane 4, Joseph Thudenhoff from Yale, running very well. But this race belongs to Jose Montessori from Vancouver College. It is going to be Montessori, Thutenhold from Yale taking the second spot. Montessori looked very strong there.
Montessori coming in at 15:63. Currently the fastest time so far today.
Yes.
Yeah, one, I think just adjust for that second sun area. That was the farthest.
And we're getting set in just a few moments' time for the fourth heat of this group.
Next up will be the fourth and final heat, the senior boys 110-meter hurdles.
I was alluding to Tim Croker from Merritt a little bit ago about his time. He ran a 15:25 back in 1988, running for Merritt. And although he was a good hurdler in high school, he really came into his own as a senior, and he went on to represent Canada in the Olympics. Probably the most perfect technical hurdler I think I've ever seen. He wasn't the fastest runner, but he made up for it in technique for sure.
Yeah, technique can make the biggest difference in
That's
these
right.
races. It's almost more important than speed in some instances.
That's right. We're getting ready for the fourth heat, and our starting group will come up on the screen in just a moment. And here we have in lane 2, lane 1 is empty, Jaden Liang in lane 2 from St. Thomas More. Lane 3, Krishan Anarathaja from Heritage Woods in 3, Austin Lee from Point Grey in 4, Luke Deager from Corilo in 5, Oliwami Fagbami from Holy Cross, Israel Muteba from GW Graham, and Harwin Brack from Queen Elizabeth in Surrey. The top seed in this heat is top seed overall as well, 14:54 in lane 6. Olioanimi from Fagbami, sorry, difficult name to pronounce there, from Holy Cross. This is a great look straight down the hurdles. You get a real sense for what the hurdles are all about. They look awfully close together, but in fact they're closer to about 9 meters, roughly 9 meters apart. And the athletes will try to get to each hurdle in 3 steps. And that is Fagbayami from Holy Cross, looking very strong. He's going to take this one easily, and he just cruises across the line. In lane 2, Krishan Anantharaja from Heritage Woods taking the second spot. Big, strong boy. He looked very smooth over the hurdles.
Yeah, okay, why don't we just try the other side of the track then.
Oh, 14:92.
Good. That's the first one we've had go into the 14 or into the 14 second, and he was cruising. He coasted the last 10 meters. Again, one of those athletes that knew exactly what he needed to do to get into the final, and he did just that. So he's looking pretty good as a potential favorite in the finals. The finals will be happening later on in the afternoon.
Yeah, these hurdle races are important to be as relaxed as possible because, you need to be in a very smooth and efficient momentum, and any kind of hitting the hurdle or kind of anything out of whack can really throw off your race. So the more relaxed, the more relaxed you are, it's a lot more effective for these athletes, and he definitely showed that in that race.
That's right. So 14:92, we see the time there. Second place, 16:38. Jaden Liang from St. Thomas More in third place, 16:62. So definitely all the times in the 15s will move on to the final. Of course, all of the heat winners will as well. Now, one of the questions that get asked most often about hurdle races is, what is the penalty for hitting a hurdle? Other than bruises and the fact that it slows you down, there is no penalty. You can knock down as many hurdles as you like, as long as you don't interfere with athletes in other lanes. So if you happen to crash and bump into another athlete or knock over a hurdle, there can be penalties for that. You can be disqualified for that. But basically, the only penalty is slows you down.
Exactly.
In fact, if you watch the senior men, as you know, the international competition, sometimes some of those athletes will hit 7 or 8 out of the 10 hurdles, and it looks like a demolition derby at the end of the race. The hurdles scattered all over the place. Doesn't seem to bother them. They're so big and strong that it doesn't slow them down.
No, but it's almost the norm, I would say, at that level, just to be kind of hitting.
Right.
But once again, it doesn't really impact their momentum. They're going so quickly. Their technique and form are so, so clean and so established that hitting a hurdle it's almost like a thing in the way to trying to get past.
That's right. And with the younger kids, the goal is to be able to 3-step the hurdles. 3 steps in between, so that you're always hitting the hurdle with the same leg, going over the, taking off the same leg. Now, just a bit of a modification. Now we're down to 100-meter hurdles, same height, 36 inches for juniors. And again, there are 4 heats. In the first heat, we have Joseph Akenride from Centennial Christian in lane 1. In 2, Nevin McNeil, MEI. Lane 3, Zemo Liu, Walnut Grove. Lane 4, Harvir Naga from WJ Mowat. Lane 5, Thomas Bertanich from Vancouver College. Lane 6, Theo Molina from Walnut Grove. Lane 7, Ashaliki Tata from Holy Cross. And in lane 8, Brian Mamidou from Dover Bay. The fastest in this group, Zemo Liu from Walnut Grove, has run a 14:76. 3 other athletes are in the mid 15-second range. I was about to say, while the younger athletes are struggling to learn how to 3-step in between, it's a reverse problem for some of the seniors. Some of them are so big and strong. Some of the international hurdlers are 6'4", 6'5", and they have to actually hold back in order to 3-step.
Yeah, you almost see them almost chopping a bit just
That's
to make
right.
sure that they kind of hit that three-step mark.
That's right. They're not running a full sprint stride as if the hurdles weren't there, because it would bring them like face on into the hurdles every time. So, interesting dilemma. So the height for the junior hurdles is exactly the same. It's just the distance is 100 meters instead of 110, and the hurdles are a bit closer together, making the 3-stepping somewhat easier for them.
And then the next 4 best times will advance to the final a little bit later today. So this is your junior boys heat 1 100-meter hurdle.
So the record in this event
is 13:92, actually held by 2 athletes. Looks like it was done 2 years apart, but they ran the same time, so they both get the record.
13:92. That's moving. Pretty fast time.
As we were saying with the 110-meter hurdles, anything under or around that 15-second mark is great, but when you move it down to the 100-meter hurdles, anything under or within that 14-second mark is
That's right.
is extremely great time.
You see them shaking their sillies out before they start the race. It's quite intimidating, when you're in the blocks looking straight down. Looking straight down to that flight of 10 hurdles. So the athlete to watch here is in lane 3, Zemo Liu from Walnut Secondary.
They're off. This is your junior
Very good technical hurdler. And that is Lou. And in, looks like in lane, can't quite tell, looked like lane, he was lane 3, lane 4. Niga from WJ Mowat, I think.
Yeah, Lou's 1473 and Tate at 1519 out in lane 7.
Okay. Ashalika Tate from Holy Cross.
Next up will be heat 2.
Good time for the heats. He will qualify automatically. There we have it, 1473, and that is very close to his seed time coming in. And he will, of course, be looking to improve on that time later on. Tata's winning time there in second place, 15:19. That should move him on. Niga from WJ Mowat, we'll have to wait and see on that one. That'll be very close to making it in the finals. And a few moments we'll be moving on to heat 2. So we'll see in one of the later heats that record that we were talking about, a 13:92. That is will likely be threatened today. There's one athlete who's flirting with it for sure. That's a beautiful view of the track and field facility.
BC School Sports is pleased to welcome you here this morning to the 2020.
Yeah, as you can see from home, the sprint track is separated from the main track, so it does give the audience here a bit more closer look at the action. Also allows the track meet to function a bit more efficiently as they can move on to the next events on the oval track pretty quickly without having to worry about taking down the hurdles too quickly.
That's right. Yeah, it's a rather unusual setup. I don't think I've ever seen a two-track, dual track, I guess you could call it, setup. Now here we move on to the second heat. And the athletes here are Eric Nakamura from John Oliver in lane 1, Jasper Chung, Caribou Hill in 2, Devin Kozak from Penticton High in 3, Xavier Johnson, Sands Secondary, Jack Chapman in lane 5 from King's Christian, Jacob Leyenhorst from Vernon Christian in 6, Ethan Moran from Pacific Academy in 7, and Sene Hu, 2 from St. John Brebeuf in Abbotsford. Fastest seed time here comes from way out in lane 8, Sene 2 from St. John Brebeuf. And right beside him, also Ethan Moran from Pacific Academy has run a 14:69. He'll be running out of lane 7. So keep your eye on the outside lanes. Ethan Moran looking very strong, an excellent technique. And it's going to be Ethan Moran. And it looks like in lane 1, Eric Nakamura from John Oliver taking second. Ethan Moran, not a particularly tall hurdler, but made up for it with really excellent technique.
Yeah, very good technique. I don't think he hit a single hurdle.
No.
Was very quick and efficient over each one.
Yeah. Yeah, in fact, as hurdlers go, he is relatively short, but very good. 14:76. Very close to his seed time coming in, so that's an excellent heat time. And we should be looking forward to, based on what we've seen after 2 heats, a very competitive final.
Yeah, Moran currently with the fastest time run so far in the junior men's category. So he's currently the man to beat.
Nakamura coming in 15:2. Devin Kozak 15:26, Xavier Johnson 15:56. So we had 5 athletes in that 15-14 second range. We move on, we get ready for the athletes in the third heat. We'll have the starting lineup up in just a moment. We have Mason Eberharder from Mount Boucherie in lane 1, Dallas Dong in lane 2 from Killarney, Spencer Kelly, BC Christian Academy in 4 in Port Coquitlam, Taylor Hisvidson from Penticton in lane 5, Xavier Pladley from Lord Tweedsmuir in 6, Austin Chu, White Rock Christian in 7, and Evan Yu from Dover Bay in 8. The athlete to watch in this heat is Javion Pladley from Lord Tweedsmuir. Comes in with a very fast 13:96.
And actually, Zemo Liu, who won the first heat, was the junior men's winner last year, so he's coming back to secure his gold again, hopefully.
Well, he'll be definitely right up there with the leaders. He will have his hands full, I think, with Javion Pladley from Lord Tweedsmuir in this heat, though. Based on seed time, he looks like the man to beat. Looks like we have a... Oh, okay, I was just going to say we have a couple of empty lanes, but we don't. So we can see down the line there, Javion Pladley from Lord Tweedsmuir, in contrast to the winner from the previous heat, is a very tall, strong-looking athlete. So lane 6 will be the lane to watch. And there they go. Oh, Pladley, beautiful technique. Look how strong he is. Left no doubt about this one. So that is Pladley, and out in lane 1, Mason Eberharder from Mount Boucherie taking second. That was a good race. Very big, strong boy. 14:19.
It's a very quick time. He looked very quick and efficient over the hurdles. His arm just was so quick coming around.
Yeah, and also he looked relaxed at the same time. So I think we can expect more from him in the finals. That was a very good performance, but I think he's holding back something for that final. And we have the times. Javion Pladley from Tweedsmuir 14:19, Mason Eberharder, Mount Boucherie and Kelowna 15:46, Tyler Hisvidson from Penticton in 15:92. So one of the neat things about the BC high schools is, we see their seed times as they get ready to start the race, and we see so many kids bettering their seed times, often by huge amounts. Part of it could be competition, wherever the zone they're coming from, they may not have had a lot of competition to get here. Facilities are an issue, number of track meets, competition.
Yeah, and like we've been saying, a lot of these athletes are running against each other for the first time, so they might not have had, this level of competition, especially being at the junior level. So this is also just a different environment and different atmosphere in terms of competing at this level.
Right. And did I say adrenaline too? The excitement of being in a big meet, boy, it really has a neat effect on some kids. We're getting ready for the fourth and final heat. It's interesting to know that how many of the athletes in the junior category are in grade 9, so they have another year left in this age group.
And once again, them being at the same height as the seniors, them only having to deal with that extra 10 meters when they move up to the senior category.
That's right, yeah. It's not as much of an adjustment.
But the way we've seen this junior category, I think things are looking pretty promising over the next couple of years.
That's right. Good crew coming up. Okay, they're on the starting line. We have Revan J. Singh from Fleetwood Park, Taiki Koyama, Burnaby Mountain, Avery Nielsen, Kitsilano, Trevor Lamb, Sir Winston Churchill, Owen Maloney, Oak Bay, David Udy, Pacific Academy, Makeo Maver, St. Thomas Moore, and Caleb Yu, Credo Christian. Fastest time comes out of lane 7. But lane 6, David Udy from Pacific Academy is looking very strong. And a very close finish there. It looked like lane 6, lane 7, and I think lane 3. That was a close one, much closer than some of the races we've seen so far. So we'll have to wait for the results to pop up here.
Next on the track will be the senior girls 100 meter hurdles. So we'll be making some adjustments to the hurdles to get ready for the next.
That was Uday in 15:24.
15:24, Maver 15:42, and third 15:56. That was definitely the closest of all the 4 races we've seen so far. So we look forward to a very fast and competitive final coming up later in the afternoon. That'll be an exciting one.
And just for the viewers at home, that's at 1 p.m. today.
1 p.m. Okay, good.
We'd also like to thank BC Dairy. BC Dairy is a proud sponsor of BC
You can see the times up on the screen there.
BC Dairy is dedicated to supporting student athletes across the province and building lasting relationships between our
Briefly.
So, it's great to get out and make sure we're supporting those companies.
Now the hurdle crew is just making some adjustments as we move to the senior women. Here we go. David Udy 15:24, 15:46 for Maver, and Nielsen 15:56, Caleb Yu 15:59. Definitely the most competitive of the heats. All 4 athletes within about 0.3 of a second of each other. Very close finish, very hard to call from this angle. David Udy is our automatic qualifier for sure, and Maver, Nielsen, and Yu will have to wait till the final results come up. Now the difference for the senior women, it is also 100 meter hurdles. Hurdles stay the same height, 33 inches, but they're just slightly closer together. And that's why the hurdle crew is having to make the adjustments. And here's the first heat. Molly Andulajevic from Oak Bay Secondary in lane 1, Madison Brunsma, Abbotsford Christian in 2, Maya Abraham, LV Rogers in trail, Karina Talbot, New West Secondary, Delaney Self from Charles Best, lane 6, Lara Honsinger from Timberline Secondary, lane 7, Mabunya Tata from Holy Cross, and in lane 8, Hina Takahashi from White Rock Christian. In lane 5, Delaney Self was last 2 years, in fact, junior champion in the sprint hurdles. And we'll see how she makes the adjustment to the senior race. And it looks like she's adjusted fairly well. That's we see her right there, Delaney Self. She's adjusted quite well because her seed time is second overall in the grouping. Karina Talbot in lane 4 from New Westminster. I've seen her during the course of the season run some absolutely amazing anchor relay legs. She is the one you want to have on the running the tail end in your team. So Delaney Self looking very smooth. And out in lane 7, Tata from Holy Cross. Oh, that's going to be very close between Tata and Maya Abraham from LV Rogers, I think. A little hard to tell with that shadow there, what lane that is, but Karina Talbot from New West High.
And Self coming through at 15:62.
And
Tata was 16:55.
and it is Talbot, sorry. Talbot from New Westminster taking that 3rd spot. So
Yeah, very close
Yeah.
between 2nd and 3rd there as well.
too close to call from here. So Delaney Self looking very, very strong there. Very good technique. Has had some excellent coaching along the way.
And the meet record in this event is, well, let's see if we can pull that up here as well.
So Delaney Self, 15:62. Tata, Holy Cross, 16:55, 16:56. So just 1/100th of a second separating 2nd and 3rd.
So with these races as well, the first place finisher automatically moves on to the final, and then we'll be looking at the next best 4 times.
Now you see the next group lined up and ready. And our competitors are in lane 1, Grace Campbell, Penticton, Maya Vig from Mennonite Educational Institute, MEI, Riley Bate in lane 3 from Glenlyon, Norfolk, Katie Shaw Lewis, also Glenlyon, Norfolk, Rebecca Ruzant, King's Christian, Amrita Sidhu, Elgin Park in lane 6, and Ava Eichhorst from Southridge in lane 7. In lane 6, Amrita Sidhu from Elgin Park has the fastest seed time overall of 15:84. So she'll be one to watch for sure. And there we see her right there. Look of concentration on her face. And they're off. And Sidhu out in lane 6 looking very strong. Beautiful technique. Very smooth. And that is Sidhu. And lane 1, Grace Campbell from Penticton High. And one of the athletes was running right there neck and neck with Sidhu and then had difficulty with the strides between the hurdles. Ended up taking 4 steps. And of course what that does is gets you into hurdling over with the wrong foot. But Sidhu looking very strong and very comfortable. Very clean race.
Just wait for the unofficial results to show up here as well. And Sidhu coming through at 16:46, and Campbell in second at 16:83. And Eichhorst from Southridge at 17:34 in third.
16:46. So for her, that's a very casual time, and we look forward to her improving on that in the final. But it looks like we could have a very good race there between Delaney Self and Sidhu. Now we see some future track stars there taking in the action. And here's the Heat 3. Avery Cochran, Revelstoke in lane 1. Audrey Venisland from Windsor in 2. May Sato from South Delta in 3. Eshergay Wah from Langley Secondary. Hannah Gill, Charles Hayes in 5. Allison Torrance, Point Grey in 6. Marlena Tresno from Handsworth in 7. And Marlena Tresno in lane 7 would be the fastest seed going in with a 1580.
36. We have 1, we have 2, we have 4, no 3.
The other thing that changes with the hurdles too, the hurdles are quite heavily weighted. The part that's on the ground has movable weights. They're very heavy, and the older the age group, the further back the weights are, which makes them heavier and harder to move, harder to knock down. If you hit a hurdle, you know you've hit something.
Yeah, it's quite the science in terms of the different age groups and the different heights and the weights. It's a very interesting race.
Yeah. Keep your eye on the outside, Tresno. Oh, we have one athlete down. Tresno looking very smooth. Oh, we have another athlete down. Oh, unfortunate. Audrey Venisland from Windsor taking second, but it is Marlena Tresno winning that race handily. And unfortunately, we had 2 athletes down.
And Tresno coming through at 16:20.
Again, that's just a little bit outside her seed time, so again, she will look to improve on that in the final.
And Venesland coming through in second at 17:78. All right, so we can see the results from Heat 3 up on the screen there. So Tresno coming through in 16:20, moving automatically to today's final. Venesland coming through in 17:78, and Hannah Gill at 19:01. So those 2 athletes will be having to wait until the completion of this event to see if they'll be moving through to today's final at 1 p.m.
Credit to the 2 girls that misstepped and fell. They both got up and finished the race, so hats off to them for that.
All right, so getting ready on the track, we have Heat 4 coming up, the 4th and final of the senior women's 100-meter hurdle heats.
We have 2 athletes in the 16-second range. Claire Markey from Sardis, running out of lane 2, has a 16:43, and Alexis Chow from St. John's has run a 16:20.
Right, so we have Eileen Zhang in lane 1 from Crofton House, Clara Markey from Sardis in lane 2, Kendra Jansen, W.J. Mowat in 3, Annika Das in 4 from Siakwam. In lane 5, Tegvir Kaur from Queen Elizabeth Secondary. In lane 6, Alexis Chow, St. John School. In lane 7, Magdalena Boudouin, Corlu. And in lane 8, Francesca Harris from Okanagan Mission. So that's Clara Markey in lane 2 and Alexis Chow in lane 6, coming in with the 2 fastest seat times.
Thing to always keep an eye on is throughout the meet. Of course, at the end they have team championships for every school, and it's interesting to see what schools jump out at you early as being dominant for every age group. So nobody yet has really stood out, but the meet is still young. Hesitation on the part of somebody there. the Grim Reaper walking by with his cards. We'll see what the result is there. Always nerve-wracking, I'm sure, for the athletes.
Yeah, it looks like it may have just been a maybe starter issue. Didn't look like there were any athletes that were moved too quickly. Yep, we see the green card, so it's all good to go.
So lane 2 and lane 6 will be the lanes to watch in this heat.
Yeah, it's always a little nerve-wracking getting into the blocks and ready to go, and then they have to call you up, and you kind of, you know.
Is it me? Did I do something wrong?
Yeah.
Oh, they're out of the blocks. This is heat 4 of the women's 100-meter hurdles. So this is your final heat. Last group of
Claire Markey from Sardis looking very strong out in lane 2. Oh, we had somebody stumble there. That is Claire Markey. She's going to win that heat. Lane 3, Kendra Jansen, WJ Mowat will take second.
coming in with the top finish today, and she will advance directly to the final.
Not sure what happened there. Alexis Shaw from St. John Brebeuf, I think, might have had a misstep in one of the hurdles. We'll have to see the results there.
Yeah, Claire Markey demonstrating some fantastic form throughout that race.
Perfect build for a hurdler. She's lean, tall, good speed, good technique. Markey, 16:11, right up there. Jansen, 17:97. And Annika Das Siakwam.
Top 2 finishers will automatically qualify, and the next 2 times. In the first heat of this grade 8 boys race, we have Elijah Godet, Pierce Van Garland.
All right, and that concludes the hurdles this morning. So these are all heats, and we'll be looking to see those top 8 athletes from each race in the finals later on today, as well as the grade 8 boys and girls as well.
Now, again, there will be a brief pause while they readjust the hurdles.
We'd also like to give a shout out to Hulo, another sponsor of BC School Sports. Hulo is the new fast ferries that are traveling between Sunny and Nanaimo, like I said earlier, the Yellow Center, over to Vancouver. So it's a bit rainy in Vancouver. You're getting over that.
And the grade 8 boys will run the same height and distance as the senior girls, 100 meters, 33-inch hurdles. Our first heat, we have Elijah Godet from St. John Brebeuf, Pierce Van Garderen from Abbotsford Christian, Kai Carter, Vancouver College, Tristan Luff, King's Christian. In lane 4 and lane 5, Chess LeBrun from North Shuswap. Lane 6, Austin Cheek from Vetter Middle. Lane 7, Daniel Hill from Shawnigan Lake. And lane 8, Micah Breedveld from Samuel Robertson Tech and Maple Ridge. And the leading time in this group comes from Micah Breedveld from Samuel Robertson Tech and Maple Ridge. And that's a good look at him right there. His older brother is also a very capable sprinter. We'll be seeing him later. The North Fraser Championship, Samuel Robertson Tech did not have a lot of athletes competing, but the ones they did have were a force for sure, including the members of the Breedveld family.
I mean, it's also, honestly, every camera looks sketchy to this monitor, but how the signals
So Breedveld will definitely be the one to watch in this group.
break up a little, but
Meet record in this event is 14:94, so good time to keep your eye on.
big one.
Looks like we have lane 5 empty.
Yeah, they are out of the blocks. This is heat 1 of the grade 8 boys. It's an exciting event for these athletes.
Micah Breedveld looking very strong on the outside lane. To your left.
Excellent chance for them to get a first time to show their skill. Looks like we've got an athlete in grade 8 powering. That's
And he takes first place. And in lane 3, Kai Carter, Vancouver College.
Taking the win there, and he will advance directly to the final, and the second athlete in that heat will make the final as well.
That's Breedveld in 16:04, taking the win in that heat. To Breedveld 16:04, Carter coming through in second at 17:16, and Gaudu in third at 18:33.
So both Carter and Breedveld came through with faster times than their seed times, so that's good for them. And this one is top 2 in each heat, plus the next 2 best times. So it's a little bit different because there are only 3 heats. The route to qualifying is a little bit easier. There we see the times. Breedveld 16:04, Carter 17:16. Those 2 will qualify automatically. And then Gaudette and Van Garderen will have to wait and see how the other heats pan out.
Also, another quick announcement, just to bring you up to speed, if you just arrived, we do have field events going on right now. We've got the junior girls hammer throw going on the infield. You can see athletes throwing and then throughout there, officials measuring and making sure they're staying well away from those giant hammers into the field.
Okay, here we have Heat 2. We have Felix Wallace in lane 1 from Rutland. Keegan Jubb from St. Andrews in 2. Samuel Mueller, Rutland in 3. Prabdeep Brar, Enver Creek in 4. Jedediah Poe, White Rock Christian in 5. Taylor Yee, Vedder Middle in 6. Christopher Freer from St. Thomas More in 7. And Josiah Vandergrant from Credo Christian in 8. Hurdles crew, a very precise gang. They're making sure all the hurdles are perfectly lined up and exactly in the right position.
We've also got senior girls high jump going on right now. We've got Brilliant girls long jump, senior boys triple jump, and
Kind of like being a carpenter, all the lines have to be perfectly straight.
Yeah, I can't say it'll look exactly like that after this
Oh,
race.
that's right
but
too. The fastest seed time in this grouping is in lane 5, Jedediah Poe from White Rock Christian. And that's him right there, competitor 2090. There they go. Very nice technique for a young athlete. Looking very strong. That is Jedediah Poe from White Rock Christian. Wow, he is over the line before the next hurdler comes across the last hurdle. In second place, it looks like Keegan Jubb from St. Andrews Regional. But he looked great in that race. Very confident.
And
15:84. Half a second faster than his seed time coming in. It's very close for second and third. I have to wait again to see the results officially there.
yeah, Poe demonstrated some very, very efficient and quick technique over those hurdles. I don't think I saw a single misstep. So
No,
you can
he
see
was very strong. Good clearance on the hurdles. He's quite tall.
I think he won't have an issue transitioning up to those 36-inch hurdles over the next couple years.
That's right. Well, he's got another 2 years at the junior level with the 33-inch hurdles. No, actually, they go to 36 next year, don't they?
Yep.
Yes, that's right.
Yep. So you can see there 15:84 for Jedediah Poe. In second, Samuel Mueller, 17:91. So those 2 athletes will be moving on to today's final.
Felix Wallace from Rutland will have to be in the wait and see position. Only 2 spots remaining after they clear out the top 2.
Yeah, it's great to have the 2 athletes there from Rutland competing against each other, and I'm sure they're both hoping that they both can make it through to today's final.
And Rutland is the home of course, Jerome Blake. He was running for Rutland High School in back in the day when he won the BC High School Championships in the 100 meters, and now, of course, he's moved on to be a member of Canada's 4x100 meter relay team, and one of the top sprinters in Canada for quite a number of years now.
Yeah, it's great to see these high schools that have those athletes that have just moved on to
That's right.
Greater and bigger things, and it's a great kind of thing to look up to in terms of from a
That's
mentorship
right.
standpoint. So here, Heat 3, the final heat, we have Elliot Chapman in Heat 1, King's Christian School. In Lane 2, Wesley Harmer, St. Thomas More. In Lane 3, Patrick Kuak from Holy Cross. Lane 4, Lucas Yu from Collingwood. Lane 5, Carson Greaves, Lake Trail Middle. Lane 6, Jaden Park, Vetter Middle. And rounding out the field and the grade 8 men's 100 meter hurdles is Chapinder Brar from Enver Creek Secondary. And that's Lucas Yu in lane 4 coming in with the fastest C time at 15:37.
Out of Lucas Yu, right there.
And it looks like we actually have a lane empty in the middle there as well. Looks like lane 5. So just 6 athletes in this race here.
Good technique, good clearance on the hurdles. Very clean. Okay, good finish. Looking very comfortable. Good clearance on the hurdles. Very clean race for Lucas Yu from Collingwood. He looks happy with that race. 15:23. Just slightly faster than his seed time coming in.
And that's the fastest time run today for the grade A boys, so Lucas, you will be the man to beat today.
Again, the top 2 qualify. Second qualifier will be Brar. Japinder Brar from Enver Creek. And then after that, it's that's the interesting part, who the remaining 2 athletes will be to make the final. Next grouping will be the 80 meter hurdles for junior girls. Junior girls and grade 8 girls will both run the 80 meter hurdles. So traditionally in these meets, you always start with the youngest age grouping, girls, and then work up to seniors. And in the hurdles, it's a little bit different because of the configuration of the hurdles. They change the order of events to make it easier on the hurdle crew with adjusting the hurdles and distances and so on.
Yeah, so these junior girls will, when they move up to the senior level, will be moving up to 100 meter hurdles. But it's for today, it's 80 meters.
And they're 30 inches high. We have Annika Tim, St. Andrews Regional in lane 1, Taylor Engbrecht from Fleetwood Park in 2, Chloe Chan, Steveston, London in 3, Amy Thompson, Penticton in 4, Kira Bergen, G.W. Graham in 5, Anya McNaught, Point Grey in 6, Nia Wheatley, Albernia District in 7, and Trinity Jarman from Kitsilano Secondary. We have 2 girls in this race who have cracked the 13-second barrier. Annika Tim in lane 1 at a 12:90, And Nia Wheatley, Alberni District, 1298 on the outside.
And the meet record in this race is 12:20.
Wow.
Very quick, fast time to beat.
Christina Vlahovic, that's a very well-known family name in hurdlers. She and her older sister have dominated the hurdle scenes for quite a few years in the high school events and in outside high school as well.
Yeah, it's always great to see the familial ties
Mm-hmm.
in a lot of these races. You can see sometimes spanning over generations, right?
Right.
Looking through the BC High School top lists, there's a lot of similar names, so it's great to see the kind of carrying the family tradition.
That's right, and I've just even today I've seen a son of a father who won a 400-meter hurdle event many years ago at the BC High Schools, and he was running in the sprint hurdles this morning. What I'm not sure about is if there have been any parent and child champions.
That's a good question. We'll have to pull up our handy.
We'll get our lovely research assistant to check it out.
I believe they actually used to note it in the packages a couple years back.
Right.
All the double winners there.
Well, they noted it according to competitors, but not necessarily champions. We'll have to do a little bit more research on that one. Actually, I don't think it has happened. And I receive them getting ready. Lanes to watch are lane 1 and lane 7. Well, a little bit of movement there with a couple of the athletes, and the starting officials will have something to say about that.
Athletes have to be still before they get into the cars. The officials are watching, making sure there's no movement by the
2 years ago, when the first time that the National Senior Championships were held in Abbotsford, they were using, of course, the electronic starting blocks, and they tried them out, tested them at the BC High Schools, and it was a really serious adjustment for a lot of the athletes. Some of them had never used, even the really high-quality blocks, let alone the electronic ones, and it was, caused problems for quite a few of the kids. So this year they're using just the traditional non-plug-in blocks.
The old school way.
The old school, yeah.
Sometimes with all these technological advances can come with more issues than they.
That's right.
They're supposed to help with. So I think this is probably the better way, especially at this level.
Yeah, it's intimidating enough being here and competing at this level without that extra worry. Lane 1 looking very strong. That is Annika Tim from St. Andrews. Lane 1, lane 2, lane 7, and lane 6. Looking very strong. They're definitely Annika Tim, 1293. McNaught finishing second. Wheatley in third.
Yeah, Annika Tim ran pretty much her seed time, so she's definitely been consistent around that time so far this
She
year.
looked very good. Nice technique. She's not particularly tall, but made up for it with very good technique and good speed.
So
12.93 for Annika Tim. Anya McNaught, Point Grey, 13.07, and Nia Wheatley at 13.26. So Annika Tim will be our for sure qualifier. Again, only the top one qualifies automatically, and then the rest is wait and see. Next 4 fastest times. 13.07, that should get her in there, but we'll have to wait and see.
That's important information, certainly for the 100-meter sprint athletes and also for the 2,000-meter steeplechase athletes. Just be aware the event is running ahead of schedule and will run ahead of schedule.
Here's the starting lineup for Heat 2. Lane 1, Madison Welch, Maple Ridge. Lane 2, Anna Jordison, Maple Ridge. Lane 3, Nav Rai, North Delta. Lane 4, Jayamuni Shanuli Silva from Holy Cross. Lane 5, Afsana Dosange from Panorama Ridge. Lane 6, Sarah Aka from Duchess Park. Lane 7, Anna Carlson from Brooks Secondary. And Lane 8, Lily Stroda, Okanagan Mission. Now, Lily Stroda from Okanagan Mission has an 11.62. Very, very fast time. Little side story about her. She was the winner in the multi-events competition last weekend.
Wow.
Not only did she win the competition, she won every single event. Usually in a multi-events competition, you have athletes that are strong sprinters and jumpers perhaps, and but maybe not strong throwers, or athletes that are stronger in the thrower and jumping events, but maybe not in the sprints. She put it all together and won every single event. So
That is very impressive.
I can't remember that ever happening, any type of competition like that.
And what you do see a lot nowadays is a lot of very high-level decathletes and heptathletes exceeding extremely well at the individual events on top of the decathlon. Case point, say Damian Warner, popular Canadian athlete, and
he's one of the world's best decathletes, and he's also Canada's best hurdler.
Exactly.
Yeah, and long jumper too. I think one year in the decathlon competition at the Olympics, his long jump would have placed him 3rd in the open men's long jump competition. So
you don't see that very often, but it's
they're usually pretty balanced. So Lily Stroda out in lane 8 will be the one to watch in the light blue jersey.
It looks like second, based off seat time, is anyone's race.
That's right. This will be probably a very competitive for second place. I'm not even gonna. If I were a betting man, I wouldn't bet on this one.
Hoping they have the photo finish ready to go.
I think they may need it. We have a 13.25, a 13.23, 13.42, 13.42, 13.84. Better have a blanket ready to throw over them all to the finish line. Lily Stroda looking very strong. Wow, good technique. Okay, now it looks like in lane 6, Sarah Aka from Duchess Park taking second place there. I would think she would be the definite one, but after that, I cannot call it.
Ooh,
so Stroda,
11.83.
11.83. Wow, good time. Aka second in 12.92, 13.05 for Silva in 3. 13.06, 13.05. Oh, the record there is 12.20. So unofficially, that is a new meet record for Lily Stroda. And that's a good record, tough record to break. So 11.83. And she has still run faster than that, so maybe she's holding something back for the final.
Yeah, it's really great to see, especially just in the heats.
Right.
I think there's only been a few BC high school records that were done in the heats. Usually it's the finals when you're kind of everything's on the line there. So that's great to see from Lily Stroda. She's been having a great 2 weekends so far.
Very strong track and field family. Her older brothers and sisters have been involved in the Okanagan Track Club for quite a number of years. So it's good to see a family tradition like that. So look forward to a good final, and our heats are only half over right now. We have some more fast kids coming. Here is Heat 3. Gurpartap Sandhu in lane 1 from MEI. Ellie Martin in 2 from Stellies. Lane 3, Shade Moore from Earl Marriott. Lane 4, Kristen Emery from Point Grey. Lane 5, Vanessa Pang, Crofton House. Lane 6, Anna Montessori from Little Flower. Lane 7, Emma Touche from Charles Hayes. And in lane 8, Elise Leduc from St. Andrews Regional. Our lineup for Heat 3, junior or grade 8 girls, no, sorry, junior women's hurdles. Just apologies, we misread the record sheet, and that is not for Lily Stroda a meet record. And I'm going to add on yet to that because I think she has potential to set the meet record in this age group.
Very close, though. We'll see in the finals.
That's right. She was not pushed at all in that heat, and she looked like she's saving a lot for the end. Must be hard for someone coming off a heptathlon competition and only being able to compete in 3 events at this meet after competing in 8 the weekend before, or 7, I should say.
It's nice they separate out the weekends, though, so they have the
That's
opportunity
right.
to do the individual events.
Yeah. Okay, we have in Heat 3, Gurpartap Sandhu, MEI, Ellie Martin, Stellies, Shade Moore, Earl Marriott, Christina Emery from Point Grey, Vanessa Pang, Crofton House, Anna Montessori, Little Flower, Emma Touche from Charles Hayes, and Elise Leduc, St. Andrews. Lane 6, lane 8 will be the ones to watch. Lane 6 looking very strong. Lane 8, but also lane 2. It's going to be lane 2. It's going to be Anna Montessori from Little Flower Academy, Ellie Martin from Stellies, I believe, and very close with Elise Leduc from St. Andrews out in lane 8. So that's a very, very close finish for second and third.
Montessori coming through in 13:04, and Martin clinching second at 13:18. Leduc 13:19.
Wow. 100th of a second separating second and third.
Yeah, they definitely had to lean for that one.
With times that close, you have to hope that both of them make it in because very disappointing to not make it by 100th of a second. (13:04, 13:18, 13:19, 13:52). So Anna Montessori moves on for sure. Martin and Leduc will have to wait and see. We have just one more heat remaining. Here's the starting list for Heat 4. Gabriel Armstrong in Lane 1, South Kamloops. Lane 2, Taya Fraser, Charles Best. Lane 3, Portia Comber from Okanagan Mission. Lane 4, Dima Almegba from University Hill. Lane 5, Hannah Liston from Dutchess Park. Lane 6, Stacy Johannesson from WJ Mowat. Lane 7, Ellie Davidson from Kitsilano. And in Lane 8, Natalie Z from New West. The fastest time from this group is 13:01 from Dima Almigbel from University Hill. Look for her out in lane 4. Portia Comber from Okanagan Mission. We just saw her a second ago. She is also very close to that time, 13:30. It's a good look at Dima Agmabel from University Hill. Fastest seed time in this group. And I have a funny feeling this is going to be a very, very close race. I don't think there's going to be a runaway winner.
It's all going to come down to who's able to maintain their composure and keep their techniques through the whole race.
Lane 1 and lane 5 looking very strong. Lane 7 as well. Lane 1, lane 5, and lane 7. It's going to be lane 1, lane 7, lane 5. Lane 1, Gabrielle Armstrong, South Kamloops. Hannah Liston, Dutchess Park, and Ellie Davidson from Kitsilano. Wow.
Armstrong coming through in 12:77 and Davidson at 12:87. Liston coming through at third at 13:07. Some very fast times there.
Yeah, all three of them with slight improvements on their heat times. So it's a waiting game now for the second and third place finishers in all of those heats.
Yeah, a lot of those lower 13s are going to have to kind of wait for the consolidated results and see who'll be moving on to today's final.
So Gabrielle Armstrong, 12:77. Ellie Davidson, 12:87. Very close there. The 12:87 should probably get in. Hannah Liston, Dutchess Park, Portia Comber, those athletes will have to wait and see. So they should know fairly soon whether they're in the final or not.
Yeah, the hurdles is such a difficult event, but we're seeing some great hurdling today. So that definitely a lot of great coaches out there and getting these athletes ready for this weekend.
That's right. Yeah. Also, what's really changed over the years is the number of athletes that are involved in clubs. If you go to club meets, you see the same names as you're seeing here. And it's great. There's a lot of depth in, some of the larger clubs in BC. And we're seeing many, many athletes from those here. Okay, now we have the grade 8 girls. Hurdles, we have 3 heats. These will be the final series of events. The first heat, we have Sylvia Denai from Earl Marriott, lane 1, Quinn Healy, Cumberland, and 2, Isabel Day from Kelly Road Secondary, and lane 4, Marion Shin, Peter Ewart Middle, Sydney Smeltzer, lane 5 from KLO in Kelowna, lane 6, Rihanna Horst from Pacific Academy, Maya Kelly in 7 from KVR Middle, lane 8, Emma Blackwell from Parkland Middle on the island. Emma Blackwell from Parkwell has run a 13:58. Sylvia Denai, Earl Marriott in lane 1, 13:88. So keep your eyes on lane 1 and lane 8. Unusual. Normally the faster seated athletes in each heat are usually placed in the middle lanes, but here we have an example of them being far sides of the track from each other. So that is Sylvia Denai. We just saw her.
She's looking nice and relaxed for this heat. So.
Confident too. Yeah. Smile for the camera.
Yeah, they should be seated for the finals. So whatever.
That's right.
The top 2 should be placed evenly throughout the lanes, and then the remaining 2 will be placed on the outside for the finals.
So keep your eyes on lane 1 and lane 8. Uh-oh.
We look like we have a bit of a early movement there. So we'll have to see what the officials say about that.
As one false start results in a disqualification. Uh-oh.
Yeah, it looks like the athlete in lane 8 moved a bit too early, and
Oh, wow.
that's very unfortunate.
That is unfortunate because she is one of the top seeds.
Top seed.
Definitely the top seed in this heat, so that's really unfortunate.
Yeah, it can be very disappointing, especially if
Yeah.
you've been working the entire year to get to this point. But it was nice to see the other athletes acknowledge her and kind of give a bit of a
Oh, that's tough.
away.
Very tough.
We're out of the blocks, so it's heat 1, the grade 8 girls, 80 meter hurdles.
Sylvia Denai out in lane 1, looking very strong. She's going to dominate this heat. And in lane 2, we have Quinn Healy from Cumberland taking second. And I think it's lane 4, Marion Shin from Peter Ewart. That is Sylvia Denai, definitely taking that heat.
Just a quick announcement, speaking about the fact that we are running a bit ahead of schedule. If we could have the grade 8 girls head to the 10 for check-in for the 100 meter event. The grade 8 girls, so we are moved 15 minutes ahead of schedule, athletes and coaches.
It's Dadai coming through in 14:27.
So again, that's grade 8
A
girls.
little bit outside her seed time, but then it is a heat.
Healy at 15:07. It's pretty close to her seat time as well. So those two will automatically move on to today's later final.
Isabel Day's time, we'll have to wait and see on that.
Yeah, there used to be I think it was the 2 false start rule, and
Yes.
they changed it over the last couple of years to the 1 false start.
Yeah, it really puts a lot of pressure. And I think the reason for doing that was that, especially in international competition, there was a lot of gamesmanship going on, and somebody would false start just to put the others on edge, create a little bit of tension. Hoping, of course, that they wouldn't do it again, but it did put the field on edge, and so I think that was the reason for change.
Yeah, because it definitely puts, especially if you're not the person who false started,
Yeah.
it kind of puts you on a bit on edge for
That's right.
once you have to go back. So you might have a bit more of a delayed start just to make sure
Yeah.
it doesn't happen to you as well. So definitely can impact the race.
And I'm not 100% sure, but I think at one time the ruling was there was 1 false start.
Per person.
And it
Or
was
2
it
per
was
person.
charged to the field, and then the second false start, no matter who it was, whether it was your second false start or not, was a disqualification.
Right.
I could be wrong about that, but that was...
Yeah, I think it's changed a few times over
Yeah,
the
it
years.
has.
And
Yeah.
I think they're probably just trying to see what fits best. But
Yeah.
yeah, it's always unfortunate to see.
The other thing is with the electronic blocks, it is technically possible for an athlete to not false start. They're still behind the gun, but there's an allowance of, I think, something like 3/100ths of a second or something like that. And if you're within that time, you still technically have not jumped the gun, but according to the rules you have. So
Exactly, yeah.
we've seen cases where athletes have got, what in the old days you'd call the perfect start. They've read the gun perfectly, but still get charged with a false start.
Too perfect.
Too
They call it.
perfect, exactly. Here we have Veronica Kwong from David Thompson in lane 1, Monica Lee in 2 from White Rock Christian, Jada Gerard from Abbey Christian in 3, Esme Wheatley from Alberni District in 4, Carly Lane, Glenbrook Middle in 5, Leah Vorster from Peter Ewart Middle in 6, Benit Denoa from Semiahmoo in 7, and Timi Jalawo from Nanaimo Christian in lane 8. Leah Vorster from Peter Ewart has by far the fastest time in this group at 13:36. Esme Wheatley has 14:22. So the battle seemed to be between 4 and 6. And it is Vorster from Peter Ewart Middle looking very strong. And Esme Wheatley from Alberni District taking second place.
Vorster coming through at 13:18,
Wow,
winning that heat.
that is a good time.
Wheatley at 13:72 in second.
Next up will be heat 3 of 3, the final heat of the 100-meter hurdle.
So she is actually about 0.2 of a second faster than her seed time coming in. And
Kylie Wilkinson, Jamie Beaupre,
there we go, Leah Vorster, 13:18, and Esme Wheatley, Alberni District,
Asha Liu,
13:72. They will be the automatic qualifiers. Jada Gerard will have to wait and see with her 14:93 time. But those are both excellent times. And now we move on to the final heat. We see the girls getting set. This is the final hurdle race of the morning. We look forward to the heats, and if the heats have been any, or the finals, I should say, later on in the day, the heats have been any indication, we're in for some fantastic races later on.
Yeah, the finals will be around just after 1 p.m., so it gives the athletes a couple hours just to recover, and not sure if any of them are running the 100 meters as well coming up next. Might be a busy day for a few of them.
Okay, here's our lineup.
In lane 1, we have Kylie Wilkinson, Abbotsford Christian. In lane 2, Jamie Buper, Mulgrave School. In lane 3, Julia Cow from West Point Grey Academy. In lane 4, Kendra Butler, KVR Middle. Lane 5, Samantha Pond, Crofton House. Lane 6, Asha Liu, Kitsilano. Lane 7, Lexi Allen from Burt Bowes Middle. And rounding out the field is Lily Monjo from George P. Vanier. So looks like Jomi Popre coming in with the fastest seat time from Mulgrave at 14:87 in lane 2. So keep an eye out for her, as well as Julie Cow, West Point Grey Academy, coming in with a seat time of 13:09. A very quick time. It looks like we actually have lane 4 empty. So just 7 athletes competing in this race.
You can see the blue sky in the background. We have a nice clear day today. It's a little bit windy. It always tends to be a bit windy in this park. We're getting, I guess, always a breeze off the ocean.
Yeah, looking like a little bit of a crosswind, so hopefully shouldn't impact these sprinters.
This is probably, of all the parks that have track meets, one of the greenest for sure.
Yeah, it's quite a nice view in the background for the viewers at home and here as well.
Nice lush greenery all around the backside of the track. And they're in the blocks. The lanes to watch are lane 3, lane 5, and lane 2. 3, 5, and 2 will be the lanes to watch.
And they're out of the blocks. This is the last heat of the grade 8 girls 80-meter hurdles. Looks like they're off to a good start.
Our leader, Julia Chow from West Point Grey, did hit a hurdle, but she recovered quite well. It'll be Chow, Jamie Beaupre from Mulgrave taking second. Those will be our 2 automatic qualifiers. And she did hit a hurdle quite hard, but she recovered very nicely.
Yeah, it didn't seem to impact her too much, so she was able to kind of keep the momentum going, which is great to see.
We'll see her time come up in a second here. And Chow's winning time, 13:77. That'll be one of the faster times.
Again, we are running
Monjo from George P. Vanier finished third there. And so she will be in the mix for one of those final qualifying spots.
call tent. You can take a picture of it so you know when you've got to be there so that you get in there on time. So 100-meter athletes,
Beaupre coming through in second at 14:16, so she automatically qualifies as well.
So 14:16, that is a significant, about 0.7 of a second drop in her seed time. So she is improving. Hopefully she can lop some more time off in the final.
Yeah, should be good. Should be an exciting final later today.
Okay, there will be a very brief pause in the action right now while the starters and everybody gets converted over to the 100 meters. That'll be getting going very shortly. I believe the meet is running on schedule right now. Yeah.
all you're interested in is these cues. In the first one, they highlighted them for you. The Q means the final. Big Q is auto qualified, small Q is the
We're getting ready very shortly to start the 100 meter heats, getting underway. We're back to the order of events that we were seeing earlier with the grade 8 girls starting off. And here's the starting lineup for the first heat. We have top two automatically qualifying the next two best times out of the three heats. In lane 1 in the first heat, we have Faith Obaguzamwan from North Delta, secondary. Lane 2, Sophia Batista from Delta. Lane 3, Avion Marie Dean, Pacific Academy. Lane 4, Charlie McLeod, Cedar Community. Lane 5, Jean Curry, Smithers Secondary. Lane 6, Sophia Zanone, Holy Cross. In lane 7, Leah Vorster from Peter Ewart. And lane 8, Tia Bajik from Burnaby North.
So while we wait, I'm happy to announce the 8 finalists in the grade 8 men's 100 meter hurdles. The grade 8 finalists are number 1, number 8,
I'm going to go switch to number 1, so we'll do it in between.
number 7, Elijah Godet from St. John Brebeuf. Number 6, Japinder Brar and Fort Creek. Number 5, 5th place, Samuel Bueller, Rutland Middle. Number 4, Kai Carter, Vancouver College. Number 3, Micah Breedval, Samuel Robertson. Number 2, Jedediah Poe from White Rock Christian. And number 1, congratulations, Lucas Yu with a time of 15:23 from Collingwood School. Those 8 will be in the 100 meter final. At about 1 p.m. Okay, we are waiting for about a 10:10 start.
There we see up on the screen our starting list. Avion Marie Dean from Pacific Academy running out of lane 3 has the fastest seed time. This is going to be a very competitive heat because all of the athletes are within, let's see, about 0.8 of a second of each other. So this could be a very competitive, close heat.
Yeah, you're just under.
Nobody really separates themselves from the others.
Let me know when I can go to you. And a reminder to all athletes that the artificial turf behind the grandstand is available for warming up. However, please remember there are no spikes to be worn on the turf. You will be able to put your spikes on in the call tent prior to your event. Again, no spikes on the artificial turf. Thank you for your cooperation. Security signal's not awesome. Look for it.
There we see the girls in the starting blocks ready to go, just getting set. Kind of shaking off the nerves. And they're going to start things off with a bang. This should be very, very close competition. Top 2 automatically qualify, and then the next 2 fastest times from all the heats combined. And looking down, Nanaimo track is the only one that around here that we've seen that has a dedicated straightaway. It's about 130 meters long, and they can do all of the 100 meters and sprint hurdles all in one location. There you get a good view of it from overhead. So lane 3, looking at it from this angle, Avion Marie Dean, Pacific Academy, the fastest seed here of 12:93. This is going to be a close one, but it is Avion Marie Dean from Pacific Academy who's going to take this one. And it looks like out in lane 6, it will be Sophia Zanone from Holy Cross taking that second spot. Those will be your two automatic qualifiers. Evian Marie Dean, Pacific Academy, and Sophia Zanone
Qualified plus the next two best times in the next two heats.
will be our automatic qualifiers. See, their times will be coming up officially in just a moment. There we go, Marie Dean in 1287, Sophia Zanone, Holy Cross 1336, and Faith from North Delta Secondary in 1370.
The women's 100 meter, we have lane 1, Elsie Otley from KLO. Lane number 2, Katie Lobster from Nicole Phoenix Rizzo. Number 3, Chloe Smith from Sir Winston. Number 4, Georgia Capios from Kitsilano Secondary. Lane number 5, Ellie Walton, Burnaby North. And
Now we move on to the second heat.
from George P. Vanier. Lane number 7, Kara Yu, Ford Big Secondary. And lane number 8, Karina Petkoff, King George Secondary.
I'm just going to say unofficially that 1287 that we just saw is an unofficial meet record, the record being 1289. So 2/100ths of a second, that's unofficial of course. And even if it is official, that is records count if they're broken in a heat. Does not have to be the final. Okay, here we have heat 2.
All right. In Heat 2, we have Elsie Audley from Clow Middle School. In Lane 2, we have Kaylee Lofstrom from Ecole Phoenix Middle. In Lane 3, Chloe Boyd, Sir Winston Churchill. Lane 4, Georgia Canavas from Kitsilano. In Lane 5, Ellie Walton from Burnaby North. In Lane 6, Ari Sakuki from George P. Vanier. In Lane 7, Kara Yu, Lord Bing. And in Lane 8, Karina Petkov from King George Secondary. We have Ellie Walton currently in Lane 5 coming in with the fastest seat time of 12:99. And Kaylee Lofstrom as well in Lane 2 with a fairly close seat time as well at 13:03. So keep an eye out in Lane 2 and Lane 5.
Actually, looking down at the heat sheets, we have quite a number of girls, at least 3, that could challenge that meet record. One has already unofficially broken it, and we'll see from here on.
I think this is probably a perfect 100-meter day
It
today.
is,
Good
yeah.
weather, good wind, good atmosphere.
Number 2, it's off. Here they go. All sub 14s. Ready to run cars.
Oh, out in lane 2, Kylie Lofstrom from Ecole Phoenix dominated that heat.
Looks like Kaylee won by quite a bit in that heat. Great run, Kaylee.
Wow. She did not come in with one of the faster seed times, but boy, she sure did there. 13:02. Walton
0.01 seconds.
in second at
It's about 13. Looked about 13 mids as well there. So I'll have to see the unofficial time.
they will qualify automatically. So Walton and Kylie Lofstrom will be our automatic qualifiers. Lofstrom ran a very strong race there. 13:02 and Walton in 13:39. So they are in automatically. Ari Sakuchi from George P. Vanier, she'll have to wait and see. Georgia Canavas from Kitsilano also right up there. Her time is very competitive. And this brings us to Heat 3. And one of the athletes in Heat 3 has actually unofficially broken the meet record as well, but according to her seed time. So we're shaping up for a dandy finish here. The third heat, we have Victoria Chung from Crofton House in lane 1. Lola Belleville from St. Thomas More in 2. Keeley Hill, Rosedale Traditional in 3. Peyton Rogers, Robert Alexander McMath in 4. Canny Nami from David Thompson in 5. Lacey Boylo from Chase Elementary Secondary. Sienna Campbell, Alpha Secondary, and Evelyn Ashford Livingston from St. Thomas More. Now there's an interesting name. Evelyn Ashford was a member of the U.S. Olympic gold medal winning team along with Flojo many years back, and she was a mainstay of the U.S. Olympic team in the sprints for many years. So I wonder if that's coincidence or the family had something in mind when she was born. Evelyn Ashford. Yeah, blast from the past.
7 racers in this race today.
Yeah, it's always great when we can we have multiple people threatening the meet record. You know, it's kind of rare to see more than one, but in this instance, it's going to make a very exciting final.
I think there are 4 of them that could very well threaten that record. And Peyton Rogers, running out of from R.A. McMath in lane 4, has technically already broken that record.
Peyton Rogers in lane 4 had a seat time of 12:84. It's a fantastic time for Grady girls. 1, 2, and they're off the block.
Well, we've got lane 1 and 2. It is Rogers now coming through. Rogers coming through in lane 2 and lane 1. Lola Bellevaux and Victoria Chung from Crofton House very close there. But it was Peyton Rogers coming through. She had off to a bit of a casual start, but came through strongly to finish. Saving her best for last. And the time is taking a little while to come up. There might have been I think there could have been a photo finish between a couple of athletes there. Rogers 13:22, Bellevaux 13:58, and Chung 13:64. There we have the official results up on screen. So Peyton Rogers doing what she needed to do. Lola Bellevaux will qualify.
And Victoria Chung may have just squeaked through to the final just based off that those top 2 final times alone there. So we'll just have to wait until the consolidated results there as well. But some fantastic running and way to start the 100 meters at this track meet.
Coming up, we have the grade 8 boys, and this looks like it's going to be very competitive. 3 heats, and there's less than a second separating all of the athletes pretty much in all 3 heats. Yeah, it's just double checking. Less than a second separating all 24 athletes. That is the makings of a very competitive race.
Yeah, as we get down to these shorter sprint races, the seat times get closer and closer to each other. You don't typically see as big of a gap. So every second or every tenth of a second, you could say,
that's right,
counts in these races. All right, so starting off the grade 8 men's 100-meter dash in lane 1, we have Jack Blatz from Sitos Lalam Tolet Elementary. In lane 2, Carl Castellon, Dover Bay Secondary. In lane 3, Kingston Soper, A.L. Fortune. In lane 4, Rohan Badesha, St. Thomas More. In lane 5, Keon Marzon, Holy Cross Regional. In lane 6, Azariel Barker, Clo Middle. In lane 7, Matt Wang, White Rock Christian. And in lane 8, Nicholas Scarpino, Dutchess Park Secondary.
And our fastest seat time in this group
looks to be Matt Wang, currently in lane 7 with the 12:08 seed time.
12:08, and yes, and down the, here they go. He is running out of lane 7. But wow, coming out of lane 5, looking very strong, is Keon Marzan from Holy Cross. Whoa, looked like Marzan from Holy Cross taking that. And Matt Wang from White Rock Christian taking second.
It looks like Matt Wang actually came through in first. I think he just got the lean at the end there.
I'll have to check with the official results here, but that was a good race, very close. Here we have Matt Wang. Yes, you're right. He did come through in first place. Marzan from Holy Cross taking second. Kingston Soper, A.L. Fortune, and Enderby taking third in 12:51. So that 12:51, we'll have to see how that stands up. That is Heat 1. And now we have the, here's the lineup for the second heat. Javian Jacobs from Southell Secondary, Justin Ikubu from Archbishop Kearney, Lumi Oliami from White Rock Christian in 3, Noel Maldonado from École Salish, Rajan Canaster from Point Grey in 5, Ryan France, Houston Secondary. Up in northern BC, in lane 7, Mason Palmer from Vancouver College. In lane 8, Kenji Sancha from Whistler Secondary. We have one athlete who's cracked the 12-second barrier here. In lane 4, Noel Maldonado from École Salish has run an 11:93, so that makes him an early favorite. But again, 0.8 of a second separating all 8 runners. So we have the potential here for another blanket finish. 12:13, 12:31, 12:42, 12:65, 12:57. Wow.
And just a reminder, the first heat was won in 12:28, so that's kind of the reference point that these athletes will be aiming for, especially those non-top 2 qualifiers.
Right, and third place was kind of the real key to focus on is the 12:51. And here they are in their blocks. Lane 4 is where the fastest seed in the group is coming from, but that does not always guarantee a winner.
All right, they're off. Heat number 2. Keep an eye on lane number 4. Bill Maldonado.
And Maldonado in very close with Rajan Konatser from Point Grey. That was a very close finish. And Lumi Oliami, I think from White Rock Christian, came through in 3rd. Konatser definitely in 2nd, 12:25. And it is Ikbugbu from Archbishop Kearney taking 3rd.
Noel and Raj will qualify for the final, and again, the next 2 best times on these 3 heats will also qualify for the final. Congratulations, Noel and Raj. Great job, all grade 8 runners. You're doing a fantastic job out there on this beautiful warm day.
Okay, Maldonado, 12:21. Konatser, 12:25. 12:36 for Ikbugbu.
80-meter hurdles junior finals.
Got some very fast times. It looks like Ikuwabu, this 12:36 should be enough to get him through to the final just based off the first heat.
And we have one more heat to go.
Maldonado had a very, very quick start.
He did, yeah. Hard to tell. His good technique. It was hard to tell whether he's going full out or on cruise control.
It looks like he took up just a bit at the finish line where Marzam was able to kind of close in a bit more, but a very fast and quick time overall. All right, moving on to the 3rd and final heat of the grade 8 men's 100-meter dash. In lane 1, we have Lucas Yu from Collingwood. In lane 2, Luke Trollope, St. Thomas Aquinas. Lane 3, Elliot Matsis, Prince of Wales Secondary. In lane 4, Mateo Morley, St. Andrews Regional High. In lane 5, Tyler Cahal, St. Thomas More. In lane 6, Jacob McSwain Kennedy, St. Andrews Regional High. Lane 7, Jacob Brown from Fleetwood Park Secondary. And in lane 8, Darson Dimitrik, Pacific Academy. So it looks like we have 2 teammates from St. Andrews Regional High competing against each other here in lanes 4 and lane 6. Top qualifying time in this race is Luke Trollope out in lane 2. The C time of 11:90. Very, very quick time.
And again, less than 0.8 of a second separating everybody. And that's the case all the way through. So 11:90 is the fastest overall seed from all 3 heats. Luke Trollope.
Yeah, we got a 12:24, 12:25, 12:45. Yes, very close.
That is Luke Trollope there, 15:78. Stepping in blocks, he's the fastest qualifier. so far.
And we're looking at about 12:51 as that those next two qualifier times cut off.
Still nine. Oh, maybe go back into the menu and check the other audio. Maybe there's a mic thing. Maybe
And there they go.
Final heat of the Creating Place men's 100
Luke Trollop in lane 2, taking this one out, but then so is Lucas Yu from Collingwood. But it is going to be Trollop, Yu, and we kind of lost them all at the finish line there.
What a great finish. What perseverance.
They will be our definite qualifiers for sure.
Looks like Yu comes through at 12:15 and Trollop in 12:16. A very, very
he
close
did catch
race.
him. He caught him right at the end.
Number 1. Lucas Yu just was ahead of lead number 2, Luke Trollop.
Looks like Jacob Brown from Fleetwood coming through in third at 12:54.
That's going to be very close for those final two spots.
We have the junior ladies coming up next. Just walk off on 3. These streets, all 3.
Okay, 12:15, 12:16, and a hundredth of a second separating them. Jacob Brown, 12:54. So Yu and Trollop automatically move on. We look forward to see them again later in the afternoon. Saw some good races there.
Yeah, it's a great way to start the 100 meters today.
Yeah, and again, when the finals roll around, that is going to be hyper competitive. Very close. I don't think I've ever seen a group of 3 heats where everybody is so potentially evenly matched. I think 0.8 of a second was the spread from all 24 athletes. This is heat 1 of the junior women's 100. We now move on to the next age group. Lane 1, Casey Chan, Charles Hayes. Lane 2, Lucia Sutherland from Alberni District. Lane 3, Isabel Ogbes from Pacific Academy. Sarah Aka from Dutchess Park in 4. Linda Zhao, Mount Douglas in 5. Stephanie Wennert, Lord Byng in 6. Gia Blake from Kelowna Secondary in 7. And Sienna Mostawi from Aberdeen Hall Prep. I believe that is Kamloops. I'm not 100% sure. Kelowna. My lovely research assistant has just corrected me on that one. Isabel Ogbes comes in 12:75, the fastest seed time. And again, very small margin separating all of these athletes. She is running out of lane 3. And it's Ogbes, Sarah Aka from Dutchess Park right up there as well. It's going to be Ogbes, and way out in lane 8, Sienna Mostawi from Aberdeen Hall Prep, I think took 2nd place. And Ogbes, I believe, was 3rd.
Ogbes comes through in 12:89.
Oh, sorry. Yes, 12:89. That's the fastest one. Well, that is the the first heat, so it is the fastest so far. She looked very strong. Sienna Mostawi from Aberdeen Prep, right up there as well. Ogbes, Mostawi, and Aka are top 3 in 12:89, 13:05, and 13:15.
Yeah, Sarah Aka in lane 4 had a fantastic start. Isabel Ogbes kind of went into 2nd gear midway through that race.
Yep.
Was able to
did just what she needed. So 12:89. The record for this grouping is 12:26. And now we move on to the second heat. We have Owen Marehead in lane 1 from Little Flower, lane 2 Madeline Van Spal, Holy Cross, and lane 3 Tirath Sandhu from Panorama Ridge, lane 4 Afsana Dosange from Panorama Ridge, Kiara Malcolm in 5 from New West. In 5, Danae Brand from Nanaimo Christian in 6, Maddie Okawa from St. Thomas Aquinas in 7, and Gabrielle Armstrong from South Kamloops in lane 8. Fastest seed time here comes from Kiara Malcolm from New West, 12:63. One of the faster overall times, and she is running out of lane 5. See her right there in the orange uniform. She is going to win this one handily, and in lane 2 it looks like Madeline Van Spal from Holy Cross taking second. We kind of lost the picture right at the finish line, but definitely I think those are the top two.
Sorry, keep talking the headset. It was a little hot. Sorry.
Malcolm coming through at 1270 and Van Spal in 13 flat.
Oh, can you turn off game?
Just looking at all these amazing times, so everybody under 13.4, that's incredible running by all 8 runners. Just
Maybe that's what it
an
is.
amazing
It
show we
shows
get to watch
You
today.
can see the final times on the screen there. Just one way, yep. Kira Malcolm in 1270. Madeline Van Spal in 13 flat, and Danae Brand in 1328, clinching third place. So Malcolm will be automatically moving on to today's final later on this evening. And Van Spal and Brand will have to wait until the rest of the heats are finished to see if they're able to advance on
There's only one guy.
time.
Let's take from me.
So here we just have, again, one automatic qualifier from each heat, and the rest it's a wait and see.
And Kira Malcolm currently with the fastest time so far run today for the junior women's at 1270.
And looking down at the at heat 3, we have Olivia Robinson from New West Secondary, Chloe Agdabaku from Langley Christian, lane 3 Anya McNaught, Point Grey, lane 4 Campbell Coles Lister from Maple Ridge, lane 5 Brianna Smith, Robert R.A. McMouth, lane 6 Christina Emery from Point Grey, lane 7 Hannah Ices from Lord Byng, and in lane 8 Lyric Nerling from Vernon Secondary. We have 2 girls who've dipped under the 13-second mark here. Olivia Robinson in lane 1 from New West, and Chloe Agbubaku from Langley Christian at 1293. So those will be the ones to watch, lane 1 and lane 2.
Going down a bit.
And in this group, 65 100ths, 6/10ths of a second separating all the runners. So lanes 1 and 2 are the ones to watch, and
Sorry, can you hear me?
there it is going to be lane 1 and 2. And it will be Olivia Robinson for New West, Chloe Agbabaku. Langley Christian taking second. That was extremely close.
Robinson coming through in 1325. Agbabaku in 1329, and Coles Leister coming through in third. It was a very tight race between 1 and 2, and also 3 through 5.
So Robinson 1325, 1329, 1360 for Coles Lister from Maple Ridge.
All right, so we'll be seeing Olivia Robinson in today's final. Congratulations to her for automatically qualifying.
Shout out to the crowd here. Another unique feature of this stadium is, in fact, there are 2 stadiums. two sets of grandstands, one down near the start, and there's quite a gap separating them, and then this one that we were in down near the finish line. Okay, here's heat 4. Madison Welsh from Maple Ridge in lane 1. Genevieve Edwards, Selkirk Secondary in 2. Ariel Liu from Richmond in 3. Neela Sangolis from Mount Doug in 4. Kielena Tupas Sang from Pacific Christian. Brianna Jones in 6 from MEI. Lane 7, Sydney O'Neill from WJ Mowat. And Nana Henry rounding out the field in lane 8 from BC Christian Academy. Not much separating this whole group. 13:11 being the fastest seed time, along with the 13:12. And at the other end, a 13:71. So again, very, very tight pack. Competition should come from lane 6, 7, and 3. Oh, sorry. Kielana Tupa Singh. Sorry, my apologies. I missed one. Pacific Academy has a 12:52. That's very fast. She is running out of lane 5.
Keep an eye on lane 5 and keep.
And yeah, she's going to take this heat easily. And lane 2 and lane 1, I believe. Maybe lane 3. Okay, it's hard to tell.
Pacific Christian School, a wonderful first run preparing her for
Tupac Singh in 12:66.
12:66, one of the top
Lou coming through in second at 13:25 and Welsh in third at 13:45.
and great job all runners.
That's Tupac Singh with the fastest time out of the heats today.
Times for all 32 runners.
Yeah, that was very fast time, actually.
Yeah, she had a fantastic start.
Looked strong all the way through. And
Yeah.
yet she still looked like she had some gas in the tank.
Yeah, looked pretty relaxed.
Yep.
You know, calm and collective throughout the whole race. So ran a great race. That's 12:66 for Tupac Singh, and so automatically moving on to today's final.
So that 13:25 for Lou from Richmond Secondary looks pretty good. That'll be very close. Yeah, it's going to be very close. You need something in the 13:20 range to make it into the final day.
Lane number 4, Lucas Acosta, Dover Bay Secondary. Lane number 5, Gabriella Lufo from Robert Bateman. Lane number 6, Andre Meltzer from St. Thomas More Collegiate. Lane number 7, Eden Ivy, White Rock Christian. And lane number 8, Jackson Barrett from Vancouver College.
I can do it fast.
Keeping an eye on the top seat time in the race, number 1, David Acosta at 11:37. Fantastic times across the board. This is going to be a fantastic race in the first heat of the men's 100-meter junior dash. Good luck, boys.
Yeah. Call me when you get back in.
Now this brings us now to the junior men. This promises as well to be a very, very competitive group. In our first grouping, we have David Piscasu from BC Christian Academy in Poco. Lane 2, Joshua Javarina from Terry Fox. In lane 3, Ryder Hoggood from Oak Bay. Lane 4, Lucas Acosta from Dover Bay. Gabriel Akufo from Robert Bateman in 5. Andre Meltzer, St. Thomas More in 6. Aiden Avani from White Rock Christian in 7. And Jackson Farrak from Vancouver College in 8. This is going to be very, very fast. A couple of members of that Terry Fox relay team that we saw yesterday looking pretty fast.
Yeah, they ran a great 4x100 yesterday.
Right. David Piscasu is the leading time of all of the runners at 11:37.
And the first heat in men's junior points is on. So incredibly excited to see
Living up to his ranking, he is going to take this heat.
That's a nice lead.
And very close to second and third, it looks like, between Acosta and Ukafo.
BC.
That one is too close to call, but it's definitely David Piscasu.
Piscascu coming through in 11:59.
Wow.
And Costa taking second at 11:90.
At 11:92, taking third. So that's going to be a tough one there. Those guys are very close.
Looks like Pukasu just went into like second gear at about 60 meters and
I
just
know.
kind of
Yeah.
separated from the rest of the field. So he ran a fantastic race and automatically moves on to today's final.
Very comfortable qualifying.
And just a reminder that the top one from each heat plus the next 4 best times will qualify for the finals. That moves us on to heat number 2.
And looks like we're going to have a very fast second heat here as well. A couple of guys running down in the mid 11s. Good shot of the 2 stadiums here that we have.
I guess you can take your preference whether you like watching the finish or the start.
That's right. Okay, we have Abdul Hine from Duchess Park in lane 1. Stephen Nicklin, St. Thomas More in 2. Effie Usel from Burn Creek in Burnaby in 3. Aidan McDonald from Vernon in 4. Jordan Shojania from Mount Boucherie in 5. Chase Doucette, Belmont in 6. Adam France in 7 from Houston Secondary. And Joey Scott from Kitsilano in 8. We have our 2 runners in 7 and 8. Adam France from Houston has run an 11:44. Joey Scott in lane 8 has run an 11:56. So very close there. And we have 4 other athletes that are running in the 11s.
It's great to see that camaraderie at the start of the race.
That's
just
right.
Wishing everyone luck. And
yeah, coming from Houston, well out of the Lower Mainland, and probably his first look at some serious competition this year. But he is coming in here with a very fast time.
once again, the winning time in the first heat was 11:59, so these athletes will be keeping an eye on that time.
Okay, thanks.
And heat number 2 is off. Here we go.
Now the athlete from Belmont. And Joey Scott from Kitsilano taking that one. And it looks like Chase Doucette from Belmont was right up there as well. Joey Scott from Kitsilano, I think, was our winner.
What a great race all around, though.
That was Scott in 11:56.
That's exactly what his seed time was, 11:56.
Doucette coming through in second at 11, I think around 11:07.
While we have time, we're going to announce the qualifiers for the women's 800 meter hurdles grade 8, ladies 80 meter hurdles grade 8. 8th place, Carly Lane, Nicole Glenbrook. Lane 7, Jacob
McDonald from Vernon in 11:93. Lane 3, Emerson Prasad, Sullivan Heights. Christian Aguedo from Pacific Academy in 4. Gage Therial from GW Graham. Jaden Yan in 6 from St. Andrews Regional. Nicholas Jang, Vancouver College in 7. And Quinton Waldner from Sands in lane 8. We have out of this heat an 11:53 and 11:49. Christian Aguedo from Pacific Academy and Nicholas Jang from Vancouver College are both run in the mid-11s. So 6 of the athletes in this race have all run in the mid to high 11s. So that's, again, bodes for a very, very tight race here.
The meet record in this race is 10:96, actually set last year, so it's a very fast record. I have a feeling that one will be around a long time as well.
That's right. That was Ryan Lofstrom, I believe.
Yes.
Yeah, we'll be seeing him a bit later running in the senior competition. Very tightly bunched group. And lane 4, that is going to be Christian Aguedo from Pacific Academy. Looking very strong.
That's 11:56 for the winner. Jang in second. Looked about 11:08. So Gatto 11:56 and Jang in 11:70. And that's Theriot from GW Graham coming through at 12 flat for third place. So that's Christian Nagato tying Joe Yee Scott from the first heat with the fastest time so far today at 11:56 for the junior men's. And the fourth and final heat for the junior men's 100-meter dash. In lane 1, we have Tayson Tran from Terry Fox Secondary. Lane 2, Joshua Hillman, Alberni District. From lane 3, Poco Nigam from North Surrey. In lane 4, Rehan Kakutuwaje, St. Thomas Aquinas. In lane 5, Nolan Thompson, Royal Bay Secondary. In lane 6, Miller Cameron, GW Graham. In lane 7, Nathan Biss, Langland Christian. And in lane 8, Larson Timmerman from Credo Christian.
Fastest seed time in this group comes from Tayson Tran from Terry Fox. Very good look at him right there. Very experienced runner.
Busy day for him. If he has the 100-meter finals today, plus they have the 4x100 meter finals today as well. So
right, I believe he'll be running in the 200 as well. So very fast. He looked very good at in winning the North Zone or North North Fraser District. Cameron Miller. Miller Cameron, sorry, from GW Graham also has a fast time. Out of lane 1, Tayson Tran from Fox, making no mistake here. And in lane 6, it is Miller Cameron from GW Graham taking second place. So Tran looking very strong there. Strong and confident. 11:77.
Cameron coming through at second in 11:89.
Well, that's going to be a dandy final later on.
You don't have to what?
I think based on heat times, they're all going to be within 0.4 of a second of each other.
BCSS track and field championships. With approximately 2,000 student athletes at this meet, this is one of the largest track meets in Canada. We ask that you pay attention to your surroundings, and for everyone's safety, please only athletes, officials, and event staff are permitted to enter the infield and only through the designated gates on the outside of the track. We are now moving on.
Looks like Cameron at that time should get him through to the final as well, just based off time alone.
Definitely going to have to be within the 11s to get into that final.
Looks like around a sub 11:9
Yeah.
to get you there. So that concludes the junior men's 100 meters.
Now we move on right away to the senior women. Again, going to be a very competitive race here. Our first grouping, heat 1 of 4. Lane 1, Marian Khalil Korma from Terry Fox. In lane 2, Wosta Joy Maruku from Fleetwood Park. In lane 3, Bailey Leduc, Penticton. 3, Ella Hyde, Corlo. In 4, Liv Jessup. Ellie Hyde, from Coraloo Secondary. In 4, Liv Jessup. In 5, from York House, Amrita Sidhu, Elgin Park. In 6, Sophia Varma Vitug, York House. In 7, and Alexandra 10 from Sentinel. We have a 12:16 here for Alexandra 10 from Sentinel, and two runners tied at 12:85, Liv Jessup and Sofia Varma Vitug, both from York House. Looks good for a relay team there.
I believe they're running in the finals later on today. They had some pretty good heats yesterday.
That's right. So they definitely the fastest time in this grouping is 12:16 for Alexandra 10.
Yeah, the winning time last year was 12:19, so pretty close to her seed time based off last year's winner. Meet record in this race is 11:64, set back in 2003. Long-standing record as well. So Yvonne Mensah also holds the 200-meter record.
Yeah, Yvonne Mensah comes from a very track and field-oriented family. Alexandra 10 on the outside. It's going to have to go some here. Difficult to tell from this angle, but she is looking strong. She comes through, and in Sofia Varma Vitug in lane 7 right beside her. And I think Liv Jessup from York House. I'm not sure. Varma Vitug in second. Oh, and Leduc from lane 3 from Penn High taking third. Jessup in 13:20. So 10, 12:78. There we go, 12:78 for 10. Varma Vitug, 12:91, and Leduc in 13 flat.
So Alexandra 10 will be automatically qualifying for today's final. And Sofia Varma Vitug and Bailey Leduc will have to be waiting on time alone. So we'll be looking at the rest of the heats to see what other times come up.
Now we move on to the second heat. Good look at the crowd there, enjoying the meet. Heat 2, we have Samantha Devine from Kitsilano in 1, Carissa Vanderswan from Langley Christian in 2, Alexandra McCready from St. Thomas Aquinas in 3, Kyla Sleeth, Sir Charles Tupper in 4, Ilaria Widener from Revelstoke in 5, Shiona Markotic from Oak Bay in 6, Kylie Jade Macalanda from Holy Cross in 7, and Nova Wedman Kent from Francis Kelsey here in Nanaimo. In this group, our fastest seed time comes from Carissa Vanderswan from Langley Christian in lane 2, and Kyla Sleeth from Sir Charles Tupper right behind with the 12:53. That's a good look at Carissa Vanderzam with the fastest seed time from Langley Christian. They're on the blocks, waiting starters' instructions. Lane 2 and lane 4 will be the lanes to watch. And it is going to be lane 2, looks like Carissa Vanderswan, and very close. That's very close with Kyla Sleuth from Sir Charles Tupper. Might have a photo finish on that one. I'm not sure if she caught her.
Yeah, Van der
Van der
Zwan looks like
Zwan.
takes the win.
Kyla Sleeth taking second, but I just missed the time there. We'll see how close it was. It was probably within a hundredth of a second. So 12:88, 12:89. That's pretty close.
Yeah, McCready taking third in 13:16.
Now, and that's a kind of scenario where you hope they both make it, because hundredth of a second not making it, that's a tough one.
Yeah, that can make or break the qualifiers. Yeah, the first heats was won in 12:78, so it looks like they're both under the second place time of 12:91. So very close though. Wow.
This is going to be, I think this is going to be an interesting one. There's more to come here.
In heat 3, we have McKenna Self from Dr. Charles Best in lane 1. Lane 2, Serenia Kukana from Delta Secondary in lane 2. Lane 3, Rebecca Chen, Steveston, London. Lane 4, Elizabeth Hoffman from Carhi. Lane 5, we have Karina Talbot from New West Secondary. In lane 6, Maya Brunoro from Langley Christian. Lane 7, Candace Chung, Burnaby Mountain. And in lane 8, Izzy Tunk Koronek from Oak Bay Secondary.
We saw Maya Brunoro yesterday running in the 400, qualified easily for the final. She is one of the favorites in that race. We'll see how she makes out in the sprints. She also has one of the faster seed times in here, but the fastest seed time in this group is McKenna Self from Charles Best, and she was the junior champion for 2 years straight in the 100 meters. She has done has a time of 12:47 coming into this race. She's running out of lane 1.
And they are off. Heat number 3, lane number 1, McKenna Self. Lane number 2, Serani Kadwakana. Lane number 3, Rebecca Chen. Lane number 4, Elizabeth.
McKenna Self is running away with this one. She's going to win this one very comfortably. And looks like lane 5, Karina Talbot from New West taking second. That is a good look there at McKenna Self.
And
She
McKenna
wastes the time.
Self coming through at 12:85.
12:85 Talbot in 13:07.
And Brunoro in third at 13:09.
13:07. That's going to be tough to make it with that time.
Number 5, lane 8, Izzy Tunk Koronek. 6th place, number 4, Elizabeth Hoffman. 7th place, number 3.
McKenna Self definitely will qualify, and we'll have to wait and see on the rest of them there.
From Delta Secondary. And moving on to the 4th heat, so the last heat of the women's 100 meter senior dash. We have, again, the top one from each heat.
13:07, 13:09.
Around 2 o'clock today. Lane number 1, Emily Sprott, GW Grain Secondary. Her classmate, lane number 2, Natasha Everett, also from GW Grain Secondary. Lane number 3, Sophia Buckland, York House School.
So from that second grouping, just 2 athletes will make it through.
Robert Alexa.
And you're going to need to be in the 12s to get through.
Yeah, I mean, just based off the first 3 heats, there's about 5 girls all within between 12:7 and 12:9. So this is shaping up to be a very exciting final for later today.
Right. Here we have the starting lineup for Heat 4. Emily Sprott from GW Graham in lane 1. Natasha Everett, GW Graham as well in lane 2. Sophia Buckland, York House in 3. Kaylin Tran, R.A. McMath in 4. Michaela Nichols, Merritt in 5. Ludovica Avini from Cowichan Secondary in 6. Sarah Clark, Charles Hayes in 7. And Caitlin Peaver from Okanagan Mission in lane 8. Fastest seed time here is Ludovica Avigny from Cowichan with a 12:41. And that is her right there. That's a very fast time. Puts her right in the mix with the leaders. And she'll be running out of lane 6, so keep an eye on her. Natasha Everett for GW Graham has the second fastest seed time in this group at 12:80.
And they are off. Heat number 4 is going. Cheer loud.
And as Avigny from Cowichan will take that one.
Number 3.
And it looked like lane 2 in second. Lane 3, Sophia Buckland from York House. 12:74 the winning time there, and Buckland in 13:04. Sophia Buckland from York House taking second there, 13:04.
And that is the end of the preliminary for the women's 100-meter dash. We'll be moving on to the men's senior 100-meter dash. And before we do that, I am going to announce the top 8 in the women's hammer throw. Top 8 women's hammer throw. Number 8, Maya Schultz from Marketstown. Number 7, Ola Viola.
And that's Ludovica Agini,
Number 6, Lily
the
Horlock.
12:74.
Number 5, Callie Forgrave.
She'll definitely be a contender in that final.
Tatiana Stevens, Sir Charles Bess.
And I believe that was the fastest time run today, so she's currently the woman to beat in today's final.
That's right.
It'll be a close call for those next two additional qualifier times. There's a couple girls in that low to mid 13 seconds, so Sophia Buckland will have to wait until the consolidated final results to see if she'll be at the final today as well.
Either way, it's going to be a good one. Very competitive. Sometimes, although you may not necessarily see blazing fast times, you want to see a competitive race. You want to see one where there's, close finish, lots of action.
And I think we'll see that
Yep.
in the senior women's 100.
Lead changes are fun too.
Yeah.
So just a brief break now while we get ready for the senior men. Here's our starting lineup for the first heat. We have Olawanimi Fagbami from Holy Cross in lane 1, Jimmy Oleemi, White Rock Christian in 2, Luke Block in 3, Pishon Houghton, Okanagan Mission in 4, Anderson Bicknell, Vernon Secondary, Omar Turo Masso, New West Secondary, lane 7, Dylan Young, Lambert Park, and lane 8, Jax Robinson from Albernian District. Pishon Houghton, we saw him run an amazing 400 heat yesterday. And I think we'll see a more amazing final. And he is a man who's threatening that 400-meter record.
Yeah, I think he's doing the triple, both the
Yes.
1, 2, and 4. So
Yeah.
lots of races from him this weekend.
And probably a couple of relays thrown in for good measure, too. So he is the fastest seed time in this group of 11:33. All 8 runners here are in the 11s. Only 6/tenths of a second separating all of them. So watch for Houghton in lane 4. Houghton in lane 4, and he is coming through comfortably. He had to kind of come from behind there. I think
Yeah, coming through at 11:16. Fabiami in lane 1 coming through at 11:22 as well. Definitely gave him a good run for his money. Robinson coming through at 3rd, but 11:38. So some great times from this first heat.
Yeah, and again, only one automatic qualifier, and that will be Pishon Houghton. But he had to go to do that, to ensure getting in. So after one heat, we'll have to wait and see then. And there we go. Pishon Houghton in 11:16. Fagbami Holy Cross 11:22, both very fast times. 11:22 should get him into the final. Jax Robinson, he'll be very close as well.
Number 2, Callan Weavers from Robert Alexandra. Lane number 3, No Jumps from Mount Douglas Secondary in Victoria. Lane number 4, Liam Mosey.
I believe Pishon Houghton has run sub 11 this year. I think his personal best is around 11 or 10.8.
I think so too, yeah.
7, Samuel McGee, Kitsilano Secondary. And in lane 8, we have Sloan Davidson from Lord Bay Secondary. Top seed time.
Meet record in this.
11:11 from Samuel McGee from Kitsilano in lane 7.
Meet record in this race is set by Peter Ogilvie back in 1990.
That's the record that'll be round. What
Yes.
is it, 10?
10:46.
10:46, yes.
Former Olympian,
That's
Team
right.
Canada sprinter.
Oh, another example of an Olympian.
There's been some close athletes coming to that time, but it's
Yeah.
sub 10:50 in high school is a very, very difficult time to run.
That's right.
Very, very impressive.
Here is Heat 2. Our starting lineup, Kieran Shankowski, Mount Baker. Lane 2, Callan Weavers, R.A. McMath. No Jelks from Mount Douglas in 3, Liam Mossy, New West in 4, Daniel Mandick, Vancouver College in 5, Samuel McGee, Kitsilano Secondary, and in lane 8, Sloan Davidson, Lord Byng. Sam McGee, there's a name from Canadian history. The creation of Sam McGee, cremation of Sam McGee. Well, good reason for that name. He is the fastest seed time. He's run 11:11. And that's a good look at him there in the blue jersey. Sloan Davidson right beside him from Lord Byng. So we have McGee, 11:11, 11:52 for Liam Mosey from New West. This is going to be a fast race too. Lane 6 is empty.
And heat number 2 is off. Here we go. Cheer them on. Best runners in the province.
McGee from Kitsilano leading this one. It's going to be McGee and Sloan Davidson from Lord Byng coming through in second.
That's Samuel McGee, a grade 12 from Kitsilano Secondary.
McGee running very comfortably there.
Mandick from College Prep looked like just
11:34. And Davidson 11:36. So very close there. 11:34, 11:36.
Crofton House. 7th place, Ari Saguchi from George P. Vanier. In 6th place, Lola Belleville from St. Thomas More. In 5th place, Ellie Walton from Burnaby North. 4th place, Sophia Zanon from Holy Cross. 3rd place, Peyton Rogers, Robert Alexander. 2nd place, Kaylee Lofstrom from Ecole Phoenix. And number 1 heading into the women's 100-meter dash grade.
There are unofficial results. Samuel McGee, Kitsilano, 11:34. Sloan Davidson, 11:56. Daniel Mandick from Vancouver College, 11:61. You're going to have to run in the mid-11s for sure, mid to low 11s.
Yeah, the top 3 from the first heat were all under 11:40.
Yeah, that looks very good for them. Another great shot of the crowd enjoying the action today.
Yeah, it looks like we have a full house today. It's great to get the stands full. Gives the athletes a lot more.
And for
audience
those
there.
for those of you who can't be here in person, we're glad that you have joined our broadcast, and we hope you get a I feel like I'm there experience. Never the same, but we hope you enjoy the broadcast today. This is Heat 3.
All right, so in Heat 3, we have in Lane 1, Nico Palaris from St. Thomas More. In Lane 2, Do-Yeon Lin from Princess Margaret. In Lane 3, Adam Sieben from Duchess Park. In Lane 4, Colin Hulin Zhu from West Vancouver. In Lane 5, Riley Mitchell, Alberni District. From Lane 6, Benjamin Janzin from Semiahmoo. In Lane 7, Joe Kanuka from Handsworth. And in Lane 8, Carter Williams from Mount Douglas Secondary.
Fastest seed time in this group is 11:37 from Colin Hulin Zhu from West Van.
And both Joe Kanuka and Adam Sieben were finalists last year, so it's great to see them back competing in this 100 meters again.
Okay, my mistake here. I missed this one. Adam Sieben from Dutchess Park has a 10:93. So that puts him right up there with the favorites. He'll be running out of lane 3.
Oh, it looks like we have a call back here. We'll see what happened there.
He's the only one of this group who has come through with a sub 11. We think a couple of the athletes have run sub 11, but not necessarily in a high school meet. So that won't show up in our seed times.
Okay, they were telling me just look at the half hour on here. Okay, sure. Look at the half hour. That's fine. Okay. Yeah. No worries. Save Josie.
I believe Adam Sieben actually has a 10.79 personal best per. So we'll expect to see some fast times from him as well.
Okay. So look for him in lane 3, Adam Sieben. And the officials are still talking down there.
And it looks like we have a red card.
Uh-oh.
We'll have to see who they are showing that to.
No. So the athlete from lane 6, unfortunately, lane 5. Looks like 2 athletes. That's rare when you see that happen. Athletes in lane 6 and 7.
Yeah, it's always unfortunate to see, especially at this big meet.
So now we were down 2 athletes, down to 6. So watch out for lane 3, Adam Sieben. And he is looking very, very comfortable. Wow, powerful runner. And looks like lane 1, Nico Polaris from St. Thomas More, finishing 2nd. Yeah, he looked pretty good.
11-12 for Sieben.
And he looked comfortable. You could tell he was kind of on cruise control.
Very relaxed, very smooth runner.
Yeah.
We have a women's high jump grade 8 result from yesterday. Coaches, if your player is not here today, you can pick up the award at the awards booth. Players
So Sieben at 11:12
grab your award as well.
and Polaris at 11:57.
Penelope Haas from Eugene Reiner. 7th place, Ari Saguchi from George P. Bagay. 6th place, Kaylee Lostrom and Nicole Phoenix. 5th place, Shada
And that was Carter Williams coming in at 3rd at 11:63.
4th place, Lila Gibb Carsley from Collingwood School. The bronze medal in grade 8 women's high jump goes to Peyton Rogers from Robert Alexa. And a tie for first place. Congratulations to 2 gold medalists, Lacey Wallow from Chase Elementary and Jordan Pershik from Windsor Secondary. Again,
Now we move on to the final heat here.
Phoenix, Alexander McKenzie, Collingwood, Robert Alexa, Chase Elementary, Windsor Secondary. You can pick up those awards from the awards booth. Congratulations, ladies. We are moving on to heat 4. Those are the last heat of the men's 100-meter dash. The finals again will be this afternoon. In lane 1, we have Gunnar Moff from GW Grand Secondary. Lane number 2, we have Ben Weens from MDI. Lane number 3, Michael Canuzzi from
And this brings us to the final heat of the senior men's.
Tyler Tan from Grandview. It's a great meet.
There is a trophy annually awarded to the winner of the senior men's 100 meters, the Harry Jerome Award. Of course, recognizing the great Harry Jerome, world record holder at one point in the 100 meters and 100 yards from Vancouver. And that will be awarded to the winner of the senior men's 100.
11.14
Final heat, Gunnar Mara, lane 1, GW Graham, Ben Weens, MEI in 2, Maverick Tyler Tan, Grandview Heights in 4, Joel Breedveld, Samuel Robertson in 5, Ryan Chin, Vancouver College in 6, Caden Cooler, Siakwam in 7, and Mackenzie Lim from Esquimalt in 8. Joel Breedveld, 11:14, fastest time in this group. Gunnar Ma, GW Graham, not far behind. Breedveld was the winner of the North Fraser Zone. Looked very strong.
Looks like lane 3 is currently empty.
And our final heat is on. Cheer on those 100-meter boys, senior boys. We have a great
Very close race going on here, but it is going to be Breedveld. And it looks like in lane 6, Ryan Chin from Vancouver College. Very close, but Breedveld running very comfortably there. And he comes through at 11:39.
And Chin coming through in second at 11:53. Ma in fourth, closely at 11:58.
So very close there. Breedveld being our automatic qualifier, of course, and then we'll see from there.
Yeah, some very fast times. Going to make for a very exciting final today. Looks like it was Pishon Houghton and Adam Sieben with the 2 fastest qualifying times overall, so they'll be the men that everyone else is chasing there in the final today.
That's right. But, you know, Joel Breedveld's an example. He has run pretty close. I think he's run under 10 at some point this year. He looked pretty comfortable, very casual. Sorry, under 11. Under 10, that would be really fast.
That would be quite the sight here.
That would have the fans on their seats, or on their feet, I should say. Okay, brief pause in the action now while we get ready for the steeplechase finals.
And just to confirm as well, the 100-meter finals will be scheduled for 1:55 p.m. today.
1:55, okay. And
starting with the grade 8 girls and moving up towards the junior and then senior athletes as well.
How are we doing for time on the schedule?
Yep, and up next we have the 2,000-meter steeplechase at 11:30. Looks like they're just getting
10 minutes away.
Getting ready on the track, so we'll be with that race shortly with everyone.
In 8th place, we have Ariel Liu from Richmond Secondary. 7th place, Sarah Aita, Dutchess Park. In 6th place, Sienna Mostowi, Aberdeen Hall. In number 5, Madeline Van Spal, Holy Cross. Number 4, Olivia Robinson, Westminster. Placing 3rd in the preliminaries, Isabel O'Keefe, Pacific Academy. 2nd, Sarah Malcolm, Westminster.
And following the, we have 2 steeplechase events coming up, and following that will be the sprint hurdle finals. We'll have to make sure we get the heat sheets for those. And following that, it looks like we have the 400-meter finals. There will be just a brief pause in the action right now. We'll take a break while we await the 2,000 meter steeplechase for senior women and 2,000 meter steeplechase for senior men. Going to have some very competitive races there with very large fields. So we'll keep you posted on that. And then shortly after that, we'll be getting going with the sprint hurdle finals.
Learn more at bcdairy.ca. Thank you, BC Dairy.
Okay, here we are back at the track, back in action again. And we're here in Nanaimo for the 2024 BC High School Track and Field Championships. And on the line you see the field for the senior women's 2,000 meter steeplechase. And here are the athletes: Rebecca Ruzant from King's Christian, Edie Jones, Kitsilano, Vida Thompson-Chang from Glen Lyon, Norfolk, Sophia Cervantes Briseno from Point Grey, Caitlin McDonald, Southridge, Jana Kang from Credo Christian, Kate Campbell from Oak Bay, Emma Childs from Edward Milne, Zoe Unger, Abbotsford Secondary, Baroka Peter from Corilo, Livia Fitovic-Spur from Killarney, Kirsten Wong, Burnaby North, Tessa Coyle, Aspen Grove, Kaylin Dealman from Abbotsford Christian, and Ferone Wallace from Kamloops Secondary, South Kamloops Secondary. And we saw some steeplechase races yesterday.
I've seen three. Three looks like you're in the right spot outside of the track.
It's the 2,000 five complete laps of the track. The reason they're not starting right at the finish line is because they have to do a little bit of a detour on the far side to go through the water jump.
All right, and the meet record in this race is 4:54.81, set back in 2017. So we'll be seeing if some of these athletes will be gunning for that time today as well.
Actually, that's for a 1,500 steeplechase. We don't have a record listed for the...
Oh, my mistake there.
I don't think. You hear they're off right now. They're on the way. We have a number of athletes in the 7-minute range. Shayna Kang from Credo Christian has run 7:22. She has the fastest time going into this.
Sophia Cervantes Briseno from Point Grey Secondary, Caitlin McDonald from Southbridge School, Jana Kang from Credo Christian, Kate Campbell from Oak Bay Secondary.
Jana Kang is our early leader, I believe, from Credo Christian. Yes, that's competitor 438. She is our early leader.
Baroka Peter for Lou Secondary, Livia Fitovic-Spur, Killarney Secondary,
Ferone Wallace from South Kamloops, and Zoe Unger from Abbotsford
Tessa Coyle, Aspen
holding down second.
Caitlin Needleman from Abbotsford Christian School, and Ferone Wallace from South Kamloops Secondary. We are a minute
And the rules are basically quite simple in the steeplechase. Going over the large barrier, the athletes can either hurdle them like a regular hurdler would, or step on and push off. You can vault over using your hands. You just cannot go under or around. And then with the water jump on the far side, the athletes will step on the top and try and push themselves off as far as they can to get to the shallow end.
Yeah, I think the goal is to spend as little amount of time as possible in the water pit there. That's still Jana Kang leading the field out there in first in blue.
She is the heavy favorite in this race, already establishing her territory here.
That's Farron Wallace from South Kamloops Secondary, currently sitting in second, followed closely by Vida Thompson-Chang from Glenyon, Norfolk in third.
And Zoe Unger from Abbotsford Secondary in fourth. Those are our leader group right now.
12:15 runners. Just to compete in this event is an incredible accomplishment, representing the province, representing BC School Sports. Great job, ladies. 3 laps to go, 1,200 meters.
Jana Kang has been running this race for quite a while. She's kind of a fixture for Credo Christian. She's really establishing herself here.
But we're close for second, third, and fourth here. So that's okay. So that's the same camera
And here she goes into the water jump.
3, okay.
Got picked up quite a bit of water there. It's exhausting, you know, standing at the top of that water jump and pushing off after you've already run 3, 4, or 5 laps. It takes a lot of energy.
Yeah, the 1,500 meters in 2,000 race without the steeples on its own is already quite a difficult race. So when you throw in some barriers there, it's adding a lot onto these runners' plates.
Yeah.
But she's moving at a great pace coming down with 2 laps to go. Very commanding lead from the rest of the athletes.
So the cameras that were labeled with numbers aren't in their right spots, right? Which, why do we do that?
Veron Wallace from South Kamloops sitting in second, and Vita Thompson-Chang, Glenland Norfolk, and Zoe Unger holding down 4th place from Abbotsford Secondary. Trying to maintain contact with the 2nd and 3rd place runners. This is for medals. And always nice to come home from a meet like this with a medal. Jana Kang looking very strong. She is leading by probably 100, 120 meters right now.
And Jana King was 2nd place last year, so I think she'll be excited for what's looking like a gold performance today.
And this is her grade 12 year, so kind of a nice way to finish off her high school career.
Okay, here comes Kang on the turn for second to last lap. Grade 12 from Cradle Christian.
Jana Chang is coming down the straightaway. She'll be heading into her bell lap. She's looking at a pretty fast time here.
We're going to hear that bell pretty soon. Keep cheering on all these girls in this hot, hot day in beautiful Nanaimo.
And here she goes into her bell lap, looking very strong, and she has probably a 100-meter lead.
5:33 for the first lap.
We don't have a record, unfortunately, listed for this event. I believe it's a fairly new event. Sitting second, we have Ferone Wallace from South Kamloops.
Here's the last lap in second place, but very closely followed by 2 more runners.
Zoe Unger from Abbotsford has moved into third, and Vita Thompson-Chang from Glenland Norfolk is sitting in third.
Abbotsford Secondary and Vita Thompson-Chang from Glenline, Norfolk in fourth. But all these runners are doing such a great job. This is elite running in the province.
Zoe Unger from Abbotsford in fourth.
And Gina Kang's seat time was 7:22 if you're looking at the clock right
And Kang has about 140 meters. There she is over her last water jump.
Cheer those girls on as they
And
get
here
water
she
and
comes
splash in this
around the
day.
corner.
And Gina Kang, grade 12.
She's going to be heading into her final steeplechase barrier.
Cheer her on. What an amazing, amazing run by this Credo Christian grade 12 student.
Jana Kang is from Credo Christian, and she's going to come in here with a pretty fast time.
7:22. So take a look at this final time for Gina Kang, a gold medalist in BC.
There she is, our gold medalist. Congratulations to Jana Kang. Here comes Ferone Wallace from South Kamloops.
Or just came up yet.
And the people are cheering on Farrah Wallace, trying to get the silver medal coming in here.
Competitor number 9, my apologies. That's Zoe Unger from Abbotsford Secondary, and Ferone Wallace from South Kamloops will bring home the bronze.
We're going for third.
This is Vita Thompson-Chang from Glenlyon, Norfolk.
Glenline, Norfolk for fourth.
Caitlin McDonald from Southridge. Kaylin Dielman from Abbotsford Christian. A real battle going on right there. It's Rebecca Rodzont from King's Christian. Olivia Fatovic-Spur from Killarney.
Great run, Livia. Good finish.
And see lots of hugs at the finish line there. Rivals on the track and friends off.
Great finishes, girls. One grade just coming in.
Yeah, showing some great sportsmanship there, as they're all hugging and high-fiving and waiting for the rest of the competitors to cross the line here as well.
That's it's one of the amazing things about track and field is the competitors are all basically really good people. They enjoy each other's company. They're good sports, support each other, and you don't see a lot of egos. So congratulations there to Jenna Kang. Very, very strong race. And that is Baroka Peter from Coraloo
Great work, Baroka. Great run.
coming across the line.
You guys have a team for Steeple. Great run again. Let's give a huge round of applause to all 15 runners in the women's 2,000 meter steeplechase. Amazing run. We'll have a medal ceremony in a little bit. Great, seniors do a medal ceremony at the podium. So once the results are official and we give it that time, we'll be able to announce those results and do the medal ceremony.
Every time they switch multiple pages.
We'll be coming up just very shortly to the boys' race.
In 8th place qualifying is Lucas Acosta.
And minor adjustments made to the height of the hurdles.
Taylor Cameron, GW Graham.
Steeplechase barriers will need to be lifted up by 3 inches.
Finishing fifth, Nicholas Jang, Vancouver College. Finishing fourth, Tayson Tran, Terry Fox Secondary. Finishing third, David Uskasu from BC Christian. Finishing in second place with a time of 11:56. Christian Aguino tying that 11:56. Number 1, Joe E. Scott. So Joe E., Christian, David, Tayson, Nicholas, Chase, Miller, and Lucas, you will be in the finals, the 100-meter junior boys finals. Congratulations.
The graphics seem to be fine.
Over on the far side of the track, the boys are getting ready for their race. We have 26 competitors. This is going to be a big group.
Whereas they're adding scores and then
We'll do our best to keep track of them all.
Senior final.
And every time I do one,
26 competitors. That is going to be a big race and a beautiful sunny day in Nanaimo.
Samuel May from WJ Mowat is the leading time in this group at 6:06.
I believe we have the meet record for this race. It is sitting at 5:50.25. It's going back to all the way to 1991. So another very long-standing record. I believe that's
And who was
Jeff Schiebler.
Oh, Jeff Schiebler, right. Also ran for Canada internationally and went on to a career professional running in Japan for a while. Corporate sponsorship,
Ludovica Alexander McKenna, Krista Kyla, Sophia Bailey, and Sophia with a PH and a Sophia with an F. Congratulations on qualifying for the women's 100-meter dash final that'll take place a little after 2 o'clock today. Congrats, girls.
And we see the runners heading towards the start line. Get ready. And as you said, very, very large field.
Is that, what school is that? McMath. Perfect. Thank you so much. Don, I gotta ask you more often. Appreciate it.
that's why it works. Forward, go forward.
And they're gathering on the line. We see getting final instructions from the starter. And we'll introduce the group. It's a very, very large group. Constantine Goller from New West Secondary. Harada Nakanishi from Robert Bateman. Jasper Balog from Oak Bay. Carson Stuchnoff from Holy Cross. Leighton Wessenberg from Sir Winston Churchill. Stephen Mishra from RE Mountain. Samuel May, WJ Mowat. Miles Graham from Unity Christian. Aaron Unger from King's Christian. Bailey Smith, Cedar Community School. Jet Sun from Hugh Boyd. Sita Funiyama from Rob R.A. McMath. John Becker, Burnaby North. Keenan Cherniak from Nanaimo District. David Laterno from Abbey Christian. James Hodgson, Elgin Park. Seth Tikrob from Nechako Valley. Lowell Solms, Killarney. Malcolm Reed, MEI. Levi Bart, Abbotsford Christian. Nico Stockwell, Sir Charles Tupper, Jerome Fong. And from Burnaby Mountain, Zachary Kennedy, R.A. McMath. Jack Harris, Point Grey. Lorenzo Nixon, Dover Bay. And Rogelio Mia from Kitsilano. The large group.
A very large group. That's great to get this number of athletes in this event.
26 athletes altogether. Samuel May has the fastest seed time of 6:06. 6:10 goes to Miles Graham, not far behind. 6:22 for Jack Harris and Point Grey. Those will be among our favorites. Well, we also have a 6:14 from Malcolm Reed, MEI.
So I'll also have James Hodgson, who was a second place finisher last year in this race as well. So he'll be gunning for that gold as well.
Yeah. I'm still on 4. I'll take you once they pass the things. And 4. He's ready.
So we see by such a large group, they don't all fit on the starting line, so they're kind of running in a bit of a stagger, one line behind the other. That'll quickly sort itself out as the race gets going.
Yeah, you may need to start off pretty quick, just right off the bat, to ensure that you don't get boxed in and not having to,
Right.
kind of work your way out of that big pack.
And they're off. Wow, what a pack. 5 laps. Just under 5 laps, actually. And will we see a speed race or a strategic race?
Off to a pretty quick start, though.
Yes, they are. They're good pace, but what a pack. It's going to be hard to work your way through that one. Interesting going over the water jump. That many people going over at the same time is a recipe for disaster, but they all made it through cleanly.
Let's introduce these runners as they take that first turn. We have from New Westminster Secondary, Constantine Goller. From Robert Bateman, Arata Nakanishi. From Oak Bay, Jasper Below. From Holy Cross.
So Samuel May and Rada Nakanishi from Robert Bateman among our early leaders. Constantine Goller from New West up there as well. But they will separate themselves a little bit within the next lap or so. Our leader, Samuel May from, I think, W.J. Mowat in the lead at the moment. We have a lot of hurdlers in that group. And here they come into the water jump. Again, quite a crowd hitting the water jump all at the same time.
Lorenzo Nixon running in his hometown from Dover Bay Secondary. And last but not least, we got Rogelio Mia from Kitsilano Secondary. Give all those 25 runners a round of applause as they hit that.
And that is Samuel May, still our leader from Mowat.
Got a nice pack there at the front. Samuel May from Mowat is in the lead after the first 2 laps.
Got a pack of about 8 runners who have separated themselves a bit.
Every one of these runners is an incredible athlete. Keep cheering on all these boys.
So Arata Nakanishi from Robert Bateman sitting in second. Miles Graham from Unity Christian in third. And Malcolm Reed from MEI sitting in fourth.
Yeah, just watch your horizon.
And as you said earlier, those are some of the athletes that have the fastest seed times coming into this race. Miles Graham and, Samuel May and Nakanishi very, very close, 6:06 and 6:09. And our leader is still Samuel May from WJ Mowat.
Yeah, he's moving at a great pace, pulling these other athletes along here.
It's such a close race right now. These boys pushing each other. In number 1 right now, Samuel May from WJ Moa.
Nakanishi
Behind him is
from Robert Bateman holding down second.
and right behind him, Miles
Constantine Goller from New West High in third.
pushing each other there in the front.
Interesting, Constantine Goller from New West High was not, according to seed times, among the early leaders, but he is hanging right in there. Comes in with a seed time of almost a minute behind, but he's looking pretty strong there.
Constantine Goller was a seat time of 7:33, but he's running a great race right now.
Sorry, Miles Graham. I'm sorry, that's not Constantine Goller. That's Miles Graham from Unity Christian. My apologies.
I can't see it. I can't see the number.
So Samuel May still holding the lead. Nakanishi, Robert Bateman in second. Miles Graham and Malcolm Reed.
Top 3 remains the same. 1 lap to go. It's bell time, folks. It's bell time. Samuel May.
All right, 1 lap to go.
WJ Moa, followed by Nakanishi, followed by
Samuel May starting to extend his lead.
Those are our top 4 as we enter this final lap.
They're pretty well spread out now. Samuel May is, it's not a guaranteed place, but he's right up there. He's got a good lead. Nakanishi in second.
Yeah, Nakanishi
Miles-
is going with him along the bat
Miles
stretch.
Graham. Yeah. Miles Graham in the orange jersey holding down third.
Again, Samuel May continues to lead.
You can tell towards the end of the race their hurdling technique is not quite the same as it was at the beginning, and that's where fatigue starts setting in.
Runners here, good job.
Here he comes to the final water jump, and we have a spill coming out of the water jump there. And he comes through cleanly. And he's going to be lapping a couple of competitors here, but it's going to be Samuel May from WJ Mowat. Finishing strongly, Samuel May and Nakanishi. Miles Graham has now taken over second place.
Graham moves into second place. Nakanishi third.
And Nakanishi from Robert Bateman will take the bronze.
Followed by Miles Graham. Congrats on silver, Miles.
Nakanishi giving it everything he had.
Reed fourth.
And fourth place, Malcolm Reed from MEI. Third, sorry. No, fourth place.
Keep cheering them on.
So excellent race there for Samuel May, Miles Graham, Nakanishi,
6:30. All these times are
our 3 medalists.
good job, Jack Harris.
Yeah, that was a fantastic race by Samuel May. Kind of led right from start to finish.
Oh, great finish there, boys. We finished strong. Oh, look at this finish. Running hard to the end. Great job, boys. You were all 5 times faster than me. Awesome work. Keep cheering, folks. There's comes a couple more.
Yep, there's your winner, Samuel May, number 7, WJ Mowat. Still have some athletes coming through here.
Good work, Kings Christian School. Great perseverance. Couple more amazing runners finishing up. Give them a huge round of applause. What an accomplishment. You represented your school in this 2,000-meter final. Great work.
And that's your final competitor from the senior men's 2,000 meter steeplechase.
Yeah, right here.
There's your top four finishers there. There's Malcolm Reed, Samuel May, Miles Graham, and Harada Nakanishi. They were top four from start to finish, so it was great to see them celebrating. And
Okay, so about a 1 hour break. Sounds good.
all right, so that concludes once again the men's 2,000 meter steeplechase. We are going to be taking a bit of a break, and we'll be coming back with the sprint hurdle finals
Finals are going to begin at 1 o'clock.
scheduled for 1 p.m. Thank you very much.